Sun comes up and goes back down. The fall feels like flying till you hit the ground. Say the word and I'll be there for you. Baby, I would be your parachute. There's a song that I remember I never learned to play, and a lifetime of forgotten words I never got to say. You only need a roof when it's raining. You only need a fire when it's cold. You only need a drink when the whiskey is the only thing that you have left to hold. Sun comes up and goes back down. The fall feels like flying till you hit the ground. Say the word and I'll be there for you. Baby, I will be your parachute. Parachute.
Yeah, on the block with my mans, hold the Glock in my pants. Throw the rock with my hands, throwing shots, it go plan.
Son, bitch, when I fuck you, don't pull on my braids. Tell my ex suck a dick, hope that smut die from AIDS.
And my little bitch gave me brain and I skied on her face. Got my mask and my gloves so I won't leave a trace. Caught a charge from my grip and I still beat the case. And I beat on my chest, you could see that I'm A.
It's ABG, I bust out 83 and make them hula hoop. Who is you? Ops will pass me like they don't know who to shoot. Trap be jumping like a frog, I'm with my dog like Scooby-Doo. Bought my Lucky Charm, but the diamonds look like Fruity Loop.
Like who is who? I bust about the coupe, I might just shoot at you. He acting tough, I might just have to show him what that Ruger do. And I'm shooting like the magic, show him what that voodoo do. I'm pulling up with that it go do black.
Oh wait, pull up, we bustin', not for discussion. We play with drums like shit is percussion. Stay with a hammer like this is construction. Drink too much Henny, might shoot up the function.
Not with the cuff and I only want fucking. Sipping this doozy, I might just start dumping. Take on the plug and now we got nothing. Try steady booming, they got my phone jumping. Niggas, they see me and start for his compass. They talking hot, but I know they be bluffing. Niggas, they see me and start for his compass. They talking hot, but I know they be bluffing.
Take a look at this bar chart. What if I told you that this chart tells us exactly where Wall Street could be forced?
L gang Mozzie. Blah da da. Niggas with cold feet get the cold shoulder. Know what time it is with me, nigga. You my brother, nigga. Brave on me, I'ma pull up with the activities, word to mother. Need some shells for the 40, nigga, brave on me. You suckers killed the homie, we gon' brave on it. She talking about some dough, we tell her brave on me. Got a line on them bokies, just brave on me. It's cooks in the stogie, finna brave on it. Sent the eye Karen Rhodey, had to brave on it. If they ever catch me leaking, better brave for me. Don't let me catch a nigga speaking, I'ma brave on it. What's the ticket on the brick? Nigga brave on me. She wanna buke a nigga dick, I let her brave on it. Banging peace to my nigga, I'm a brave for him. Get in the field and take initiative to squeeze for him. Free my brother 100 shots, blooded teller shells. Line it up, we going toes with these handhelds. Niggas talking about they shooters, but I can't tell. And people ask me about a shooting, but I ain't tell. Hell yeah, hell gang, nigga, nothing else. Better keep your yeeky on you if you love yourself. Cause we be doing numbers for his body counts. They took him off life support, then that body count. Mozzie ain't with the shit, that's what I highly doubt. If you my nigga, when he said it, should've knocked him out. I'm breathing on these suckers and they whereabouts. It's what up top, I'm finna air it out. Need some shells for the 40, nigga, brave on me. Them suckers killed the homie, we gon' breathe on it. She talking about some dough, we tell her brave on me. I got a line on them pokies, nigga, brave on me. It's cooks in the stogie, finna brave on it. Sent the eye, Karen wrote him, had to brave on him. If they ever catch me leaking, better brave for me. Don't let me catch a nigga speaking, I'ma brave on it. Headshot, neck shot, headshot. The next shot, another headshot. He should be dead. Red mob, ain't no other mob. This the La Villa. It's crime time all the time. We be popping niggas. Keep your distance. We tripping if you ain't rocking with us. Ever made a statement on the gangster, then you not my nigga. That's the rules of the game. I ain't the one that made them. If he snitching, then he snitching. Ain't no way to save him. I'm from the pavement. This the only route I ever knew. They had me on the A flow in county, ain't no better view. Yeah, you niggas better move when it's time to shoot. Never sacrifice for a nigga that wouldn't die for you. Just breathe on me when it's greasy and I'm sliding through. If you my nigga, you my nigga, I ain't lying, fool. Just breathe on me when it's greasy and I'm sliding through. I put it all on the line, I ain't lying, fool. Need some shells for the 40, nigga, brave on me. Them suckers killed the homie, we gon' breathe on it. She talking about some dough, we tell her brave on me. I got a line on them pokies, nigga, brave on me. It's cooks in the stogie, finna brave on it. Sent the eye, Karen wrote him, had to brave on him. If they ever catch me leaking, better brave for me. Don't let me catch a nigga speaking, I'ma brave on it.
Trap while on the phone with Jamalo. Percy Alago, new Camaro up in full throttle. Buying pints, check the sale, this a full bottle. PWA, Breadwinners Association. In my trap on the couch like my legs broke. Catching sales, ain't no way I could be dead broke. Let them in, shut the burglar like the dead bug. Nigga try, I got that iron, make your head smoke. Kitchen no whipping, can't be like what you call it. Work be fucking retarded, that's what my customers call it. Drop 2 ounces, they jump to like 68 by theyself. Straight out the pie to the bag, they both weigh 70 weight. Box of soda, red and gold. Arm and hammer. Do the microwave a stove on with hammer. Trap girl on my phone. What's the matter? Going hard, just ran out of arm and hammer. She like, babe, I'm at the stove. What you want? You should know. Sandwich bags and arm and hammer. With a scale, I'm going hammer. Trap junk. I got junkies watching burglar boys and cameras. Broke a block down the rocks, slowly picking my weight up. In the drought, selling ounces. If you want weight, you could wait up. Ain't been to sleep in 3 days. My nickname should be stay up. Fuck the club in the mall. Right now I'm stacking my cake up. Fuck you hoes, I could jack off. I don't play break up the makeup. You other niggas had your turn. You play your face to get ate up. Don't make us send you straight to your maker. Bought my paper. Might step out on occasion. Just heard Taisha getting married. Here's a congratulations. Invited me on vacation. Reception out in Jamaica. Quarterback to play in Dallas. Set up Troy Aikman. In here with a bad bitch. Stop passing by the car. Hate. Box of soda, red and gold. Arm and hammer. Do the microwave, a stove on with hammer. Trap girl on my phone. What's the matter? Going hard, just ran out on me. Hammer, she like, babe, I'm at the stove. What you want? You should know. Sandwich bags and on me. Hammer with a scale, I'm going hammer. Trap junk. I got junkies watching burglar boys and cameras.
L gang Mousy. Blah da da.
Building your online business? Go to Wix.com and set up your store on a single integrated platform. Add products. Showcase them dynamically.
Wednesday night, 12 a.m. on the avenue. Behind the tent by myself with an attitude. Told myself, bad guy trying to punish you. All that scandalous shit you did is coming back for you. I believe me, cause the nigga, this was scandalous things. Robber, killer, all kind of things. You was up, but you broke and you feeling strange. The pawn shop got you killed in your day-to-day. Few months ago, nigga see a homie die. At the funeral, had to see his granny cry. Stay focused, nigga, try to go and make it big. Go and get some money, then help his kids. Been the corners by my lonely. Listen on my homies. All my niggas that's dead and gone. Hold it down to this 40. Run around to
You on mute. You're on mute.
Oh, I really am muted. Thank you, sir. What's up, dude?
Hey, man. How you doing?
You put your I saw you last night on that thing that Flo was on.
Wrestler.
Yeah,
Right.
you had the same jacket on.
I did. Yeah.
Yeah, I know.
It's one of two.
Yeah, I know. I know. I can act hard too. I know what you're doing.
Hard? What do you mean?
It's whatever, bro. I love you. You know that, right?
I don't know that, but
Well, you should. I mean, we're basically the same person competing for the same spot.
what spot?
Whatever this YouTube spot bullshit is.
Well, there's millions.
I'm just not going to be
of
under
spots.
you is my whole point.
You're what?
I'm just not going to be under you is my whole point. I
Well,
love
no,
it.
I'm under you. Look.
Oh, but well, okay. You're under me. Okay, he's under me. All right, I'm down with that. He's under me. He's under me.
I mean, not in a gay way. So how's it going, man?
It's okay. I was just playing some music. I'm kind of depressed, but it's whatever.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, I'm into, well, really all music, but primarily rap, underground rap, primarily. It would be considered for the most part.
Do you like the shit that I was just playing?
Well, I've never heard it. You know what I mean? With that, like even my own dudes, like the people I listen to, a lot of times it takes me a while listening through, like, a few plays, sometimes dozens before I make a judgment. But in terms of lyrics, I mean, I didn't really hear much, but the beats, they cool.
Yeah, no, I hear you. I hear you on that. It takes me a minute too.
I don't know if you
How have you
heard.
been though? I haven't seen you in a minute.
Yeah. I've been kind of ducked out of the, panel space, but here and there I've been going up. Um, yeah, I've been doing well though. Uh, so you mentioned that you're not feeling good or feeling depressed. I mean, I'm
Yeah,
all
no, like,
ears.
sucks. Is that just for me or is it for everyone?
Um, well, I don't think it's for everyone.
That's just me. Appreciate it.
No, and I don't think it's just for you, right? I think, look, I've had
Here, look.
plenty of
Before
life
you share
sucks
your
times.
wisdom, I'm not trying to cut you off. I swear to God, this isn't a power move. Just before you share your wisdom, let me share this.
Yeah.
I took the hard route on purpose, thinking I was gonna be gifted something from the goddamn universe. Come to find out, that ain't how it works.
Hmm.
So
Yeah.
I'm coming to terms with that.
Yeah. Yeah, maybe I felt similarly at times. You know what I mean? Like I was or have been owed something, right? Like from the universe, God, whatever, all the same to me. And I think that it's real, but here's the thing, CJ, it doesn't come when you want. It comes when you're ready. And you don't need to worry about when you're ready. It knows when you're ready.
It knows. Do it knows. I'm supposed to just trust that it knows.
No. No, in fact, I don't think most people do trust that. And therefore, most people go down like worse rabbit holes, right? Like they turned into junkies or whatever. But if you look at most people, like most people, they're doing fucked, like on paper. Like you're probably far ahead of them in general. I mean,
All right. Fair, fair. Um.
you all right?
Yeah. Yeah. I'm okay. Um.
I mean, look, most people wouldn't have started a YouTube channel like you did. Most people wouldn't be feeling to put themselves up on camera to say something genuine, at least to you, right? I don't mean that it isn't true. I just mean, coming from the heart type of shit. So most people not willing to do that.
All right.
You got a little Chiba?
Yeah. I'm trying to put it out. Actually.
Indica sativa?
Oh, always indica. I mean,
Oh,
I haven't quite understood the benefit of sativa yet. To be honest
mm,
with you, like indica is what I use to put myself to sleep. I've always tried to
yeah.
only smoke when I'm going to bed. You know what I mean? So
Yeah, I get both. Like, I'll get sativa and kind of aim towards the day. I mean, I don't use a lot. Like, I mean, every day for the most part, but I do fast from it. But when I was younger, it'd be like 4 blunts a day. Like 4 blunts a day. You know what I mean? Like heavy. And now it's like that would last me like a week, half a week, something like that. But I like sativa during the day. It's sort of challenging. Like, maybe been known as the more paranoia invoking type of shit. More of a, I think, head high versus body high. I think that's more the indica. But I like it. I don't think that weed is evil or anything. I think that it can be overused. I think when I was young, I overused it. And I don't know if I need it. It definitely helps in some sense, I think, to escape reality, to a degree for a little bit, could be, the night or whatever. But that's my take.
Well, as far as weed goes, I've always used it as something that just puts me to sleep, and I just never deal with it past that. I mean,
Mm.
I don't have some big strategy for how to get through life or anything. I'm not trying to offer a strategy to anybody, but it has been something that has helped me. Um, and the older I get, the more I attribute the non-inflammation properties that are attributed to THC to continuing going. So in the society that we live in, it's a little weird because it seems to me the people that do the work that keeps the shit going get demonized for using the shit that keeps them going. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah, to a degree, for sure.
So I don't know.
What up, Based?
Hey, man. How you doing,
Jim?
ODarn?
Did you have a good Christmas?
Did I? Yeah.
Yeah. Fuck yeah.
How about you?
I can't complain, and if I did, I don't know how much good it'd do. But I had a pretty solid Christmas, I would say.
Cool.
CJ,
Word.
I feel like you rage quit on our stream earlier.
I kind of did.
Are we just hanging out, like drinking beers, like we were planning on doing now, or what?
I kind of did. I kind of gave up on all that. I didn't have a strategy for it. So
You don't gotta have a strategy for it, especially if we're just gonna talk shit. That makes sense. I'm not trying to wreck what you guys were talking about. What were you guys talking about? Because I was listening.
Really, it's just bullshit. Like how do I say this? Do you remember a couple streams ago when I had a stream with Caucasian Sasquatch, and he talked about. I said something. I just know that you will understand the reference. Where it's like I was saying, why do all the people that have that seemingly hate each other?
Have what?
Have what? Meaning have the shine or the light or the whatever that other people gravitate towards. You know what I'm saying? Like, why do those type of people all seemingly hate each other? And the immediate response I got was competition. And it's just how are we ever?
I mean, that's true.
How are we ever supposed to get? How are me and you supposed to ever get along, Based? If that's the case.
Well, I'm not trying to compete with you.
Well, I understand that, and I like you as a person. I really do. But like, how am I supposed to allow you in my space?
Well, here's the thing:
not
if
compete with each other, like
if you're yeah, no, I got you. How do we not do that? And I'm just saying, what you're describing, I think, is true, right? Like, people are hella cutthroat. I've seen some dirty fucking shit on YouTube, debating even. With that said, just because they do it most of day doesn't mean I need to do it or you need to do it. You can do whatever you want. I'm going to operate the way that I operate, and I'm not here or anywhere to try to fuck people over type of thing. I'll say what I think. I'll say what I believe, but I'm not into what you're describing. That's true is people putting other people down for the purpose of elevating themselves, or like at least, in the eyes of others.
Yeah,
Like he's winning, he's the winner type shit.
right.
Based, it sounds like you have a punch up philosophy and don't punch down philosophy.
I just try to punch true.
Well, that's fair.
I try.
Yeah. No, we're all humans, and we're gonna fail at certain aspects of life, but I found it's always super easy to just punch down and try to portray yourself in a different light than what you actually are. And what Sasquatch has talked about is like, is this entertainment? Are you being genuine? You know what I mean? Like, you're getting into some weird philosophical stuff once you get to the nuts and bolts of everything. If that makes sense.
It sucks because I don't even have the words to explain to you people, like, philosophically, like what I think about that. You know what I mean? But I'm aware as a man that, like, I can't allow certain things to go on around me if I'm supposed to be the leader of something. You know what I'm saying? Like, I can't allow somebody that has you could say it as glow or whatever, like a more glow than me, to be a fucking rat. Like, how do you manage that shit?
I mean, I'll punch up and down at the same time. So Wilson kind of came at me, like, there's a whole fucking story, but essentially I kicked him off my stream. Like, this your stream, pretend I'm you, and then I come on here just talking hella shit, like yelling blah blah blah, won't let you talk. So I put him in the backstage and ended up booting him after I brought him back on, and he still did the same shit. So why did he do that? I had like 50. Well, let me put it like this. I had probably half or a quarter of what you have watching right now. Right? I had just started live streaming. There's no plug. I know anyone. I just started doing it. And he up there just trying to, why you talking shit? Fuck you. And his wife in the comments. Why would he do that? How's it going to help him to go after a no-name, no one?
I don't know, dude. I've been trying to figure it out from the back end. Like, I've been trying to figure it out from...
I would say because disingenuous people have to defend their positions a lot harder than genuine people do. And they care about defending those positions a lot more than genuine people do. That's what I would say.
That sounds generally right. I mean, it depends, of course, but yeah, I think there's something to that. I think it was sort of an ego defense more than a factual defense. I was just doing reviews. I was reviewing stream of him on Fresh and Fit when he first went on. That was it. And I was like, wow, like, this is some real sellout shit. I think so.
It was sellout shit. Yeah. I mean, if I could say for myself, it was sellout shit.
I mean, the fact that he told that guy, well, I'm in Florida and I've got a gun. It's like, really, dude? I would have called this bluff if I was on stage. Because
if I was that big, dude, if I was the size of Wes Watson, bro, if I was the size of Wes Watson, I would have snatched that dude out of that chair, bro. Like,
yeah, he could have died that day. He could have.
My immediate thoughts were, really, bro? You traveled to Florida with a gun and you brought a gun on stage? Like, that's how much fear you live in? It's I would have been okay calling that bluff, because what's the likelihood of that actually happening, and then you being in a sit down position and being able to pull it off before you get slapped. So it's like, if you're at your house, it's a totally different situation. But like, the likelihood of somebody, I mean, you got to jump through some hoops to bring a gun on a plane and go shooting in a different state.
Yeah, it could have been true, but the same thing you said, I agree with, and I thought that same shit too. you know, he said it like very covertly. He's like, why would you say something like that to somebody in Florida who is carrying? And he was implying that he had a gun on him. I don't know if he did or didn't, but to your point, I
Clearly, he
kind of
did.
don't think he did. But
No.
if he did, I don't know. You're right, though. Wes Watson calling his bluff, that would have been good. Better than
Wes
saying
Watson's
shave your
a big
arms and
motherfucker. Wes is a big motherfucker. Like,
he dumb though. He's dumb. Like I wish he would have
He's
won that
beyond-
transaction, but he fucking dumb.
he's beyond dumb. But still, he's still huge. And like, had he carried himself correctly, he could have changed the wave of that whole thing.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
And he was
Well-
partially correct as well. You know, he was talking about in some regard health, you know, and I know he was like, oh, you got titties and whatever. But to some degree, I agree with where he was coming from. But he ran it into shave your arms, and you know, it is fucking my bitch is hotter than yours. And meanwhile,
Yeah.
his bitch apparently an escort, his bitch. But yeah, weird flex.
I mean, to me, Andrew looks like a tick. He's got a tiny head and a round body. And I've said on streams before, his wife has rows of teeth like SUVs got back seats. You know, like, I don't think she's that good looking. So, I mean, sue me. You know what I mean?
Well, she's not that good looking, but she did have multiple baby daddies before him, so that's traditional, right? That's orthodox. Is that how it works?
Yeah, that's another thing that I don't understand is like, and I told them in a live stream, I'm like, my wife is way more trad than your wife. She's been married once and she's only had one kid, and guess who the dad of that kid is? Mine. And she makes me a sandwich every day for lunch. You know,
And don't get me wrong. I'm not saying that a woman like her, you know, on paper couldn't be a good woman. I'm not saying that, but I'm just saying you're here promoting orthodoxy, trad, whatever, and she's a fucking cunt. I'm just saying she's a cunt.
I can't speak to the level of, because I haven't had that much interactions. I listened just for
I've
a
talked
little
to
bit.
her. She threatened me, but yeah.
Okay.
All I can say is I have never seen them seem affectionate on the computer screen.
That's true. That's true. Yeah.
I mean, it's not something I've ever seen, so I don't know how I'm supposed to believe it any more than what I've seen.
Well, if he's our age and his parents were traditional, there's going to be a lack of affection there, traditionally speaking. And his parents probably, and especially his grandparents, grew up in the era where it's like, oh, you talk back to me, woman? Smack. You know what I mean? And what I've seen from him is like she comes down to the basement and brings him a drink when, I mean, he's not ringing a bell like Owen Benjamin is, but she does it just
Get a
the same.
bell. Where's my bell at?
So I don't know. I studied philosophy and logic in college, and after listening to him for a little bit, it's like you're abusing what logic is meant for. That was my takeaway from listening to him and those guys in that sphere. And it's not a debate channel, it's just strictly an argument channel, because they operate under the if I can put you on tilt, I win, which is totally irrelevant to whatever the argument is. They just are on there trying to trigger people and make them say stupid stuff and content farm.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Where did Based go?
I don't know. I appreciate him for being here either way. It was an unexpected occurrence. So.
Well, I didn't mean to piss you off earlier. That was not my intention.
Bro, you didn't. You should know.
Okay.
Like, you've been more helpful to me than. I'm glad I met you, and we have a good You're good, bro. Like, you don't have to worry about that. I figured you would know that.
I wasn't trying to piss you off.
I've just been in a mood lately.
No, and it's easy to get in those.
The motherfucker have to try is really where I'm at. It's like,
dude, the trying doesn't stop just when you get a wife and a kid either, man. Like it's
No,
then
I'm
it's
aware,
even
but it's like just to get there. God almighty.
yeah. Well, and to get there with a good one, that's even harder, you know. Um, there were a few
I'm
chicks that
aware that the trying doesn't stop. That's not something I'm looking for, but it's like if I could at least get over that hill, at least I would have a purpose to continue my life until the end of time. You know what I mean? And unless I get over that hill, there's really not much reason to give a shit. There's really not. Like, there's really not. I mean, unless I become one of these fresh and fit guys where it's just like I'm gonna go out and try to smash as many hot girls as I can. I don't care about that. I'm not trying. I don't care about. I really don't care about that. And I don't even want to become that guy. Sorry, I've put a blunt out on my table here, and I'm having trouble getting it to go fully out. So
should have smoked that whole thing, CJ.
well, it already burnt me. I mean,
That's the best way to put a blunt out.
to the filter. I mean, fuck, it burnt my fingers. So
Oh snap!
uh,
Well, I was hoping Based would have something to say after that little soapbox. You know,
he's
he usually has.
said plenty. I mean,
Yeah, I didn't catch the first part of everything when you guys were talking. What were you guys talking about when you first started it back up again?
well, I believe I was saying something about, you remember how me and Sasquatch were streaming and we were talking about like how guys who, you know, have that type of glow where they can get the women's attention, like why do
Yeah.
they all hate each other? And his answer was immediately competition. But
I mean,
how do we ever co-create or whatever you want to call it? If that
competition isn't a reason to hate
maybe that's
someone.
why autistics like me fucking exist. I'm like just autistic enough to understand the autistic's perspective, but I'm not autistic enough to fucking be outcast completely from society. So I really don't know where my place is.
Well, competition alone isn't a reason to hate someone. If they play dirty, then you know, like you've played sports. Did you hate people that were better than you at a sport, or did you want to view that competition and them being better
No,
as like
I viewed it as like that's something that I will be to next season, and we will surpass them.
use it to get better? But with the
Right.
YouTube, like in the Panelverse stuff, like people are just out there just
No,
trying to collect dirt and play dirty and do underhanded shit.
there was a specific school that was always better than us, and I was just like, we will be better than them next season. I mean, that's the way I viewed it. It might not have happened, but that's how I thought of it.
If you want to get better at something, you have to play a better opponent. That's usually how that works, and that's why competition is good. You know, at least that's some shitty ass philosophy behind it. If that makes sense.
I guess it's just weird since we're here on YouTube and we talk to everybody. You know what I mean? Like it gets super personal.
Well, yeah, it definitely can.
Well, so much for Based, huh? He's gone now.
Well, maybe he had to get run to the bathroom, or you know.
Yeah.
Maybe he ordered a pizza. I don't know.
I mean, he probably just didn't give a shit anymore. Is what I'm guessing.
Maybe that could be it as well. You know, he seems like a pretty chill, level-headed dude, though, for the most part.
Yeah, well, I mean, level-headed until he tells me that I'm gonna be someone's wife in prison. You know what I mean?
What? He said that to you?
Yeah. Fuck him. Yeah.
Oh, well, that's not good.
No, that's not good at all.
Why would you be someone's wife in prison?
I'm just saying that's my line. If you want me to hate you, then tell me I'm gonna be somebody's wife in prison. You know what I mean? I mean, basically, that's all you got to do. I really like the guy, to be honest with you. I don't have anything against him, but you can't just say shit like that to me. At the same time, you know what I mean?
Yeah, definitely when people have been downtrodden by
I
life.
understand you were in the military. You probably could whoop my ass, but you still are gonna have to whoop my ass to say shit like that to me.
Yeah, I mean, maybe. I mean, you never know. Like a lot of people on the internet like to talk about how they were in the military and they weren't nothing more than a forklift driver that loaded trucks, but and carry themselves like they were.
Fuckers, dude. I don't think that he was. I mean, I'm sure that he's legit and everything. I haven't looked into it, but I'm just saying.
Oh, I'm not saying that about him either. But what I'm saying is, there are definitely I've ran into quite a few military guys that definitely fluff the things they did.
Yeah, I've known a lot of them. Dude, they're rampant in AA. Actually, the AA guys are rampant with the stolen valor shit. Like it's crazy.
Well,
Like,
stolen valor is totally different than fluffing what you did in the military.
Well, I
You
know
what I mean?
I know of multiple different people who have claimed to be SEAL Team 6 and shit. They're like built like a fucking leaf. Like they're not even like they're built. It's just there's no way that they're gonna pass those type of criteria. Yet they wear the hat and they just will never let it go. You know what I'm saying? And they just say that they're SEAL team whatever until the end of time. I've seen that too much. I just can't just blindly trust that off of face value. You know?
Nor should you.
I mean, I don't think I should either. I think I'm right for being wary of it, but you know, apparently that makes me an asshole too. So
I don't know what the percentage is, but only a certain, and it's a much smaller percentage of people in the military actually see combat versus all the support that is behind the machine.
And it's not even about that. It's like if you were in the military and you did what you signed up to do, then claim it, you know? But if you didn't, then don't claim it. You know? Like and some people just claim it regardless for social virtue or whatever it is.
Internet brownie points.
And I have a hard time telling the real ones from the fake ones. I mean, that's really all it is.
Yeah, the fake ones have become really good about being fake.
Yeah. Like they will push it. They will push it until the end of time. And
most of the real ones, though, that I've actually met in real life, they kind of have a demeanor like he does.
Yeah,
where they're quiet, they're soft spoken, and they don't want to talk about talk about stuff. You know, because it's not cool. You know.
Yeah, no, I'm not trying to get. I'm trying to keep the rest of my teeth based. Just so you know, I'm not trying to fuck with you. Just tell. But you still don't get to talk to me like that. So you might have to knock the rest of my teeth out in order to talk to me like that. That's all I'm saying. So now that that's said, let's see if I can get somewhere.
Talk some more shit on the ex-Bears.
Okay, yeah. Let's talk about this GS Bear thing because I'm really wary of GS now. Like, why, in your opinion, why in the hell did GS pop up on Liz's stream?
Probably because he got slighted by the Big Deer cult leader, and he got butthurt, and he needs to find a new safe space on the internet.
He said that he deleted his account last month.
Yeah.
So it took him that long to realize that Owen was a lying, manipulative piece of shit.
Yeah, I mean, that's one of the things Covert brought up was like, really, dude? Like, it took you this long? You lived through all of it? And that's one of the things I brought up to the women in the Liz thing was like, how did you women still follow him after you saw him hitting, like, punching a dog on a live stream? Like, that make sense in my head. And they all have an excuse as to why they explained it away. And
Really?
yes. Liz's excuse was, "Oh, I thought that's how people treat their animals, like in the country." And it's like, "Oh, I'm sorry, Owen isn't a country boy by any means, or you know." So, and maybe I'm misquoting her. I'm sure she'll make a video about this. But
Is that the Adam?
what's that?
There's some dude named Adam in my chat. Is that the Adam?
Maybe.
Is
I'm
that
trying to
his
think.
avatar?
I'm trying to. I can't see the chat, so. If I'm remembering correctly, I feel like his avatar has an orange hue to it, maybe.
Okay.
So if it is that Adam, he would definitely probably say, yes, it's that Adam. You know?
Well, this Adam has an orange hue to it.
Well, I'd say more than likely then, because I don't know too many Adams.
If that's you, bro, like, I really think that we should have a discussion at some point, just because you were farther involved into the whole thing than I was. And I have my opinions and everything, but it's my opinions from the outside. So I would like to have that clarified by a dude like you who is on the inside. If you would like to talk one day, I think we could make that a stream. So you just let me know. I still can't tell if it's him or if it's a troll, because right now he's saying I am the cameraman.
Yeah, that sounds like Adam to me. But everybody is pretty much like, I was a
I mean,
part
you
of
have to
the group.
understand it. I'm sorry, real quick. Like, you have to understand, I'm wary of everyone that was involved in this entire thing, because there's a high probability that it was all just an act. You know what I mean? That the whole thing was a stage from the beginning, and that they never intended to do anything with it from the first.
It's all controlled ops.
That it was all controlled ops. So, like,
yep, the whole blow up was fake and everything.
If I now look at you like you could be controlled op, please forgive me, because I have to be that way. Like, I can't just.
I don't think the guy suing the guy in real life is controlled ops.
Well, that's why I wanted to know if it was really him or if it was a random troll account.
Like a sock account?
Right. Yeah. Right. Yeah.
That's probably. I mean, if
like
you want, I'll go upstairs and ask the Magic 8 Ball. You want me to go see what the Magic 8 Ball says?
Yeah. Go see what the Magic 8 Ball says while I talk to my chat room. Yeah, I mean no disrespect at him. It's just like I have no idea how to know if you're him or if you're just some dude with the name Adam in my chat room. And I'm not gonna just place blame on people that don't deserve blame, because I don't do shit like that, unlike Owen. You know what I mean? So but if I figure out that someone is deserving of blame, I will happily use everything at my disposal to place said blame upon said person who's deserving of it. It's just a really weird situation, because him being an actor, the whole thing could have been a stage. Adam could have been part of the fucking stage. Fucking James True could have been part of the fucking stage. Jim Bob could have been part of the fucking stage. Only God knows. Only God knows who is like not paid to be. If I'm going to look at it from that perspective, so I'm just trying to give you an idea of where my head's at, because this whole thing has me not trusting anybody, like, really. So please forgive me if I don't trust you just because your name is Adam and you have a red ambient avatar. Even though my guy said that that's what.
All right. Is this Adam in the cameraman Adam in the chat? What does the magic 8-ball say? Oh no, it's all bubbly and I can't read it.
Your only job was the 8-ball.
It says concentrate and try again. All right. Magic 8-ball is that Adam the camera guy in the chat. I don't want to shake it up too much because of the bubbles. Okay, what does it say?
Shake it.
What? Oh, it's upside down. I'm like, I can't read this. It is Magic 8-ball. Magic 8-ball says it is certain.
What is certain?
That it's Adam in the chat.
Oh, okay.
That's what the Magic 8-ball says. So
the 8-ball said that it is you.
Yeah, Magic 8-ball has spoken.
All right.
So we'll just operate under that. So
I'm going to choose to operate under that.
I mean, that's what his avatars always looked like. I think he's only changed it once, as far as I know, from watching Liz and Goat and stuff.
Well, Adam, if that's really you, all right. Well, we're just gonna go with it because he likes the 8-ball. So, look, Adam, if that's really you, like, I want to know from you. Here's a question I have from you. Do you trust these people like Jim Bob? Like, do you trust Jim Bob at this point? Could you just answer that for me? That would be helpful to me because there's no way I can trust. Like, Jim Bob sent me cups and plates and shit, dude. Like, I don't even know what to make of that at this point. Either he wanted me as his little Orthodox warrior crew, or he was fucking infiltration from the start, trying to fuck the Bears up. Like, it's got to be one of the two. It's got to be one of the two, and I can't tell for the life of me which one it is.
Jim Bob lied to me and said he didn't. He didn't think his audience knows who Owen Benjamin is.
There was a point in my life where I thought like the Bears were this really reputable group of like hardcore like American individuals. You know what I mean? And then it got flipped into only God knows what they are. Like, oh, I have no idea what they are. If they're gonna follow a dude that defends himself in that such a way, like what he did to Megan is not something that I find as what do I say? An accurate way to defend oneself. Like, there are other ways to defend yourself than to smear someone's wife on.
It was not honorable. I think that might be the word you're looking for.
Slimy. It was slimy as fuck. That's what it was. It was slimy as fuck, and I don't appreciate it. And I never expected in a million years a dude that I was following and sending money. That's the part that hurts me so much. And sending money to go that route. Like, was that him from the beginning? Like, is that just how is that how he's been this whole time, or I don't know. I know he did, dude. And even less than you, he smeared what's his name? What was the dude that sold Kratom's name with the black wife? White guy that had a black wife sold Kratom. What's his name?
Was that the Crow guy?
No, that was a conspiracy theorist guy. Either way, the guy that I'm
Davy, was it the Davy Crocco guy?
no, Davy died. Davy
Okay.
died. Either way, there's a dude out here, and the people who are listening will probably know who I'm talking about. He's just trying to feed his family and survive and create a business for himself and da 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 da. Da. And Owen uses his goddamn Hollywood clout to smear this motherfucker as a fucking pedo.
That's the first trick that he played on everyone, is
Dude, you
getting
don't
them to
do
think
that.
that he has actual Hollywood clout.
Look, it's one thing if you do that to your Hollywood pieces of shit. You don't do that to a regular guy. You
He
don't
has
do that to a
he
regular.
has no he had a fucking a coon hair of Hollywood clout at best.
I'm
So
gonna find his name. Hold on, I'm gonna find his name.
um
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
but anyone with any amount of clout in Hollywood would laugh at you for saying that that guy had Hollywood clout.
No, I'm funnier. I'm literally funnier than Owen. And if he wants to prove me wrong, he can pop on my stream and show me, because I'm funnier than him. Fuck him. Anyway,
I don't think it's too hard to be funnier than anyone
it's
that
not a
Joe
high bar.
Rogan likes.
It's not a high bar. It's not a high bar. I'm not claiming that. Okay, let me find what was the dude's name, bro? The guy that sold Kratom with the black wife. What is his name? I can't that's how detached I am from this shit. I don't even remember the guy's name at this point. But the point
Did he sell pillows too?
he didn't, he sold Kratom because that was what got him off of heroin, which is
Oh.
why I identify with the guy, because that's what got me off methadone. You know what I'm saying? So
Gotcha.
I mean, I like that guy, and he smeared him just for the simple fact that he was running a different narrative than him. Like, I never imagined that the world was that vicious until I saw that shit. That a guy from fucking Hollywood would smear a normal fucking trying to get his business off the ground guy that has 2 or 3 kids with the word pedophile. Just over business.
Well, I mean,
I
everyone
never
that Owen is
got
smeared.
slimy. I never in a million years thought that shit got that slimy, but it does.
Well, yeah, because like, listen, a lot of the ex-bears are racist as fuck. That's just the harsh reality of it. And then if you tell them that they're racist as fuck, what's worse than being a racist? That's the only thing that they have. I've given these dumb fucking ex-bears the script to take Owen down. And what it is, it's go on Twitter and you make a video super cutting the shit out of him being racist. You make another video super cutting him being misogynistic. You make another video of him defending the age of consent in marriage, and he is done. But these dumb fucks can't do it because a whole bunch of them are racist as fuck as well. So they're going to have a real hard time making a supercut video of a guy being racist when there's evidence of them on the internet being racist themselves. It doesn't work that way. So what it is it's a shit fat, a shit stack fuck. It's a Reggie Watt song, is what it is. And you got a whole bunch of people that aren't that good of people, even though there were some good people in there.
Jim Bob would know this answer though. Like Sasquatch isn't gonna know. I appreciate you for being here, Sasquatch. You're not gonna know this answer. Adam, look, Adam, if you're still here, what was the guy's name with the black wife that had a kratom business? I need to know that in order to look up information. He looked like me. He was like me with a black wife. That's basically what he was. Like he was a white guy with a black wife. Kratom got him off heroin. What was his fucking name? Dude, I've tried to detach myself from this shit so much, I don't even know his name anymore. But the point is he tried to smear him. He even tried to smear him. And that was really what did it for me. You know what I'm saying? Like, Jim Bob, it could be argued Jim Bob is a public figure. But you could not argue that this guy was a public figure. He was just trying to keep his kids fed and help people get off of shit the way he got off of shit.
Jim Bob had him dead. Jim Bob had him dead to rights though for a defamation lawsuit.
Dude, yeah.
And so is everybody. So is everybody else.
Me and Jim Bob are trauma bonded over this shit. To be honest with you, like
a lot of the ex-bears have trauma bonded over it.
I will really never. Grounded Extracts. Thank you, Woodshop. Grounded Extracts. That's the guy's name. Now I'll be able to figure out who he is.
Okay. Yeah. Way to go, Woodshop.
I just appreciate you for being here, dude, because, like, I remember when you were crowdfunding for your back surgery, and I was thinking, like they will never crowdfund me for shit because they think I'm going to run my mouth and ruin their whole narrative or whatever. And then the same shit that they would have done to me ended up happening to you. So,
I hope the back surgery went well and everything is good there. You know, because he also Woodshop's going to have him dead to rights with the defamation lawsuit as well. You know what I mean? Like,
no, Woodshop was a good guy for him, and he did. Look, the reason Owen is scared of people crowdfunding and shit like that is because people become who they really are. They like blossom. You know what I'm saying?
No, like, if you take money out of your pocket and you put it into Woodshop's pocket, that means there's less money for Big Fat Liar Bear to have in his pocket at the end of the day.
But what I was getting at is it kind of goes back to what me and Bass were talking about earlier, where it's like if you're taking even the tiniest amount of dude's glow, he's gonna demonize you. You know what I mean?
Yeah, because he's all ego and no substance.
Right.
That's why.
Woodshop is an act. I mean, I can't really call you a carpenter because I don't know you well enough, but I know that you make shit. I know that you're not just some. Anyway, I know that you make shit, and I appreciate who you are. So I'm glad you're here. But let me get to Grounded Extracts. Let me find his website. Okay, groundedextracts.com. That was easy enough.
And by when you randomly call people a PDF, like what you're actually doing is you're just providing more cover for the actual pieces of shit out there in the world by throwing it out there. Maybe just be less of a shitty person in general, and then nobody can really say that much about you. You know what I mean?
Dude, this guy's got videos. Like, hey, Adam, do you want to come up here? I know I'm nobody, but would you like to come, or Woodshop? Woodshop or Adam, if you'd like to come up, by all means. I'm not trying to get clout off of you. I want to figure, this shit's so crazy how this whole thing went down. And now we got GS popping into the whole situation, and I don't know what I can trust out of that guy's mouth. Like, all the people I like, all the people that I like, that I hang out with on YouTube, hate GS. They fucking hate him. And I'm still on the fence about it because I don't know what I can trust around that motherfucker. Like,
look, the last two people, minus the women that came up there on Liz's stream, were Sober in the Valley and the GS guy. And what both of those guys did was downplay how much their involvement was in the bear cult. Like, the guy says he's a casual listener. Sober in the Valley says he's a casual listener. And he's like, yeah, I was a casual listener who signed up for the Patreon lawsuit. So somebody like me, that makes no fucking sense. You can't be a casual listener and sign up for a lawsuit. That sounds suspect as fuck, that's a giant red flag.
I
And
sent
then-
the motherfucker $1,000. I'm hesitant of signing up for the lawsuit.
Then you listen to the guy talk on the second time he's on Liz's live stream, and he knows everyone's name. He would have given you grounded extracts the first time you asked. And
Because
then,
I don't have that kind of money to battle that kind of powerful people. You know
and
what I
then
mean?
come to find out the dude isn't even sober in the valley. He drinks. You
Yeah.
know? So it's like he's full of shit.
Real
Same
crazy.
thing with the GS guy. He's a nice guy, but his story, he's downplaying his involvement in the Bears. Look, those dudes are starting to infiltrate.
He was just
if
out
you
here.
ask me.
He was just out here in North Carolina because of the hurricane, like interviewing people that had a bad time during the hurricane or whatever.
Yeah,
Like,
he's probably just a dumbass piece of shit that can't fucking keep a job, and he's trying to make it out in the YouTube streets.
he seems like an activist to me, which I'm the opposite of a fucking activist.
A LARPing activist, probably. Real activists don't necessarily put everything they're doing on YouTube.
Well,
know?
by activist, I mean pushing an agenda that is not 100% tied to reality, I guess. Is what I'm
Gotcha.
saying.
I hear you.
You got a good hurricane story?
Me?
No, Sasquatch said he has a good hurricane story.
I was gonna say I don't have a good hurricane story.
Save me from the content for a minute. Let me do some research. Tell your hurricane story, if you would like. I'm not forcing you, obviously. Where is Bo? I need Bo back on. Where in the fuck did Bo go? I need Bo back on here. You don't just get to dip out on me whenever you want to, motherfucker. I need you to come back. We have to talk about things. Where did he go?
Is that based?
I know you're still here, Base.
Oh yeah.
I know you're still here.
B-O? Is it
Yeah.
Bo or is it B-O?
What? He smells bad and it's both. So both.
He doesn't seem like the kind of guy that smells bad.
He looks like he smells bad.
What? He looks like he smells bad.
Yeah.
All right.
That's my story, and I'm sticking to it. All right. What was that? All right, Sasquatch, you gonna tell me your? Are you gonna tell me your hurricane story, Sasquatch? Oh, you're back. Oh, I'm sorry, bro. I'm sorry. That's my fault.
Hey, bud.
Look, I'm
All right.
this, and I'm partially drunk.
Okay, I'm good with that, dude. You do you. I'm not trying to change you at all. You do
I'm
you.
gonna mute myself now, so I don't put my foot in my mouth.
Hold on, Sasquatch, just so you know, we have talked about a Friday night stream where it's okay to drink and smoke cigarettes and just be dudes that know how to build things and hang out on Friday nights.
I'm better at breaking stuff.
Well, yeah, we can all smash things. But anyway, I'd love to hear your hurricane story.
All right, check this out. So, hurricanes headed this way. We're in Georgia. I've dealt with hurricanes before. This isn't, a red label emergency as I see it. Made sure I had a little bit of wood, verified I knew where all my camping stuff was at. I live in the middle of town between the police department and the hospital. We're going to be the very first people that get our power back, right? So I wasn't really sweating it that hard. I was doing a live stream with the Raging Tomato, and I think it was around 10:30, 11 o'clock. You can see it happen on the live stream. I answer the phone, or maybe I just go off camera. Maybe I answer the phone, and it's a cousin from like right on the coast where the hurricane was already making landfall. And he was like, dude, they're lying to you about this thing. This thing's nasty. And then just went away. And I was like, well, that's weird. I haven't heard from him in months, maybe a year. And I was like, okay. And I sit there for a second on camera. And I'm like, look, I'm going to go ahead and shut this down so I can go ahead and prep for this thing because it's getting pretty sporting out here. Power goes out about 10 minutes later. All hell breaks loose. The whole county gets flooded. When everything clears up about 4 hours later, the there's a oak tree, a pecan tree down here, as big around as a semi truck that's sitting across the road. And then over here in the other direction, there were 2 light poles and another huge tree that was laying across the road. So my little block got cut off from the universe for about 14 hours. And no power, no internet, no cell phone coverage for the first 24 hours. Now, I'm a real sort of laid back kind of guy, right? I don't see any point in panicking until there's a point in panicking. We were headed towards the edge of panicking territory. There was a car stuck in the power lines over here by the Waffle House the next morning when I walked down there. Just a red Fiat or something like that. Anyway, so I wait 24 hours before I do anything. Everybody's got to kind of come to grips with the fact that we are incommunicado from the universe. There's no power. The only power we have is from the car. Everybody's charging their phone in my truck, so that's fine. After about 24 hours, you got to figure out what to do with all the stuff in the freezer. So that's where I started. I fired up the grill with the charcoal I had handy, built me a little fire, put on some coffee. And the next morning when my wife woke up, she come out and was like, "What are we going to do?" I was like, "Here, have a cup of coffee." She's like, "And this is why I love you." Right here. She sat down in the chairs I had gotten out, and we sat around the fire all day cooking whatever happened to be in the freezer on top, getting thawed out. So it started off with smoked flounder and salmon, grilling burgers and hot dogs pretty much the whole time. Just bougie as hell, dude. There's more about like when things started like opening up. I went out to go get gas because we've been running the truck charging stuff, right? So I went out to go get gas, and I happened to pull in. There's a 2.5 mile long line, and I happened to pull in just as a truck is pulling out. I just pull in, pop my card in, fill up, and leave. I didn't have to barely get out of the car. I go from there and just ride through town to look at the damage. And when I get to a quick stop down here coming out of town, the folks who drive the ice truck can't get through under the lines, and they've just pulled up right there and pulled sideways, and they're selling ice out the back of the truck. I go up, grab 3 or 4 bags of ice, head back towards the house, and as I'm going by the bank, the guy with the generator truck has just hooked up the ATM. So I double back around and go to the bank, and he's like, "Give me about 10 minutes. You'll be able to use it." And I was like, "Okay." And I did, got me a couple of $100 out, and then went back to the house where I made some shrimp Alfredo and made some biscuits on the fire. I'm telling you, it was ridiculous. When we finally kind of dug out from under the rubble and got out, and people asked me how the hurricane had gone, and I started telling them, they would look me straight in the face with like this 1,000-yard stare and say, "My truck was in my neighbor's house when I woke up," or "There's a tree in my living room right now," or "You could raise brim in my bedroom." Oh no, they'll just let anybody in here, bro. Good on you.
I was trying to get Texas Goat up here. Hey, Texas Goat, pop up here for a minute, even if you'll only be available for a second. It would be amazing.
But yeah,
and Buzz back too. I mean, whatever that means.
I remember that story. You told it. I don't know if it was on a CJ stream or a Flow State stream, but I remember you telling that story.
Yeah, you already told it, Sasquatch. What the fuck?
Yeah, I know.
No, but it's better to be like, what's the Boy Scout motto? It's better to be like prepared than not be prepared. And it's like I'm the same way. My camping gear is all survival gear, you know, and it's like I've got multiple ways to cook food if anything bad happens.
Well, so now that I've had a moment to look at this dude's website, I'm sorry. I'm like I half listened to what you're saying, Sasquatch, but like this guy right here, that I'm
That's
scrolling.
better than most people do, brother. You got them by a shot.
Well, like I'm scrolling his website here. He's got all of his concoctions he's come up with that have helped him.
Concoctions?
Look,
Money
and
shot?
he even partially looks like me, so that's a positive, right? I mean, yeah, like, look, when you're on the way back from opiate addiction, I mean, you find your own way back there. And Kratom is something that helped me as well as seemed to help him, so much so that he created a business off of it. To be slandered as a fucking PDF for doing what he's doing and contesting some fucking halftime comedian like Owen Benjamin, it just seems like such a slight against humanity to me.
Is Owen Benjamin a comedian?
No, I'm funny on him, but he used to be.
He is. He missed the mark by a shot.
he used to be at one point. No longer.
Yeah.
He was a shitty comedian at best.
Well, no, I don't care how good of a comedian you are. If your intent is to make people laugh, even as a shithead, you have a certain amount of value. Your intent counts.
You're a comedian, Sasquatch.
But
And
to
I-
see so low that you call somebody like this a PDF is like mind-blowingly fucked up.
He looked like Jesus.
Thank you.
I mean, exactly.
You can call me Sasquatch. I don't
Anyway, I don't want to put his.
Oh,
face-
you.
I'm
No, it's
gonna
not you.
unpause him.
Well, I've just got one question yet. What are the humans doing?
Which ones?
Right? Oh, God, not the weird ones.
Am I one of those?
What the fuck
Humans?
does that
I
mean?
don't know, dude. Like, I have a doubt whether or not YouTubers are actually human. We're like aliens.
Which
walking on
ones?
I need to
Strange,
know
a
if I
strange
count.
land, as it were.
Do I count?
I don't know if you can count or not. How far did you make it through school?
I have a high school diploma.
Okay. Well, then you should be able to count. You count as well.
I count. Yeah, Base can't take that jacket off now.
It's because it's
the humans are multiplying like rabbits. That's what they're doing.
I like
That's
that
my
jacket,
guess.
actually. dude.
as I understand it, that was God's first order. I don't think he meant it on earth. I think he meant the universe. I think go forth and multiply is the primary function. There's a whole universe out there, and that's an awful lot of wasted space if we're not meant to do something with it.
So
No,
I was thinking about this earlier, but there's like 8 billion people on Earth right now, currently, as far as I know, as far as I've heard. And I think in all of humanity, like all time, everyone accounted for is like 30 or 40 or 50 billion rather. So my point of bringing that up is it seems right now, because we have been multiplying, right now, currently, this day, we're like, a fifth of all of humanity, even though it's been thousands of years, however many they say.
Who are they? Can I have their email address?
Who?
I feel like there was an ending that you never quite got to.
No, I got to it. No, but was there pushback?
He's saying that he's willing to subvert his own personal judgment to another individual.
I didn't say that.
Thank you for decoding
What
that.
he said.
I did say that. All right, you're right. I did say that. I mean, I
knew
did
there
say
was
that.
I knew there was some wiggle room there. I just couldn't quite put my finger on it.
What's it called when you're filling up a glass of water? As you fill the glass of water up, it exponentially fills up faster. There's a word for that.
Really, really excited.
That's past my pay grade, bro.
Horny?
Maybe the word is just exponential, but isn't that what you were talking about? Like with the how many people are on the planet now versus the whole.
Yeah, like we've exponentially, increased population to the point where right now, currently, is like a quarter. I don't know if it's a quarter, but
It's
it's significant.
As many people alive today as there has been since like 4000 BC. It's not all of human history, but most of the lion.
Yeah. No, I agree with. That's what I mean, though. Isn't that kind of crazy? Like
It
you
is
were
a little
part
bit.
of a
So,
quarter.
as a religious individual, if you're one of those people who believe in reincarnation, where are these extra souls coming from? Are these the extinct animals that we're wiping out left, right, and center?
Good point.
Are they getting automatic upgrades because we're totally cornering the market? We're spawn killing the bastards. What's going on here? I mean, that might check out for the Hindu concept, but that doesn't really fly real well for the Christian concept. And beyond all of that, does anybody here believe we actually have a quote unquote population problem?
What do you mean?
Are there too many people?
No.
Well, it's being argued. I mean,
Not
I know
yet.
we brought up earlier. Wilson said we need to have more babies. Period. It doesn't matter where they come from. We need to have more babies. And I think that's crazy in the sense of
he's not wrong for a GDP national socialist type situation. If you're trying to run a business, it's a little bit different though.
Well, yeah, okay. You mean like the status quo, right? Like
I'm talking about like GDP on the bottom line when it comes to the economics of nations. We need to have more babies.
Right, but that would be a quantitative application rather than qualitative. We could have less babies that were better, brand new 2025 with warranty babies.
That doesn't work.
In order for a society to
everything else.
In order for a society to sustain itself, it needs to have at least 2 babies per like man and woman. And that's what the issue is if the birth rate dips below 2.0, your society is considered in decline, which is happening in Japan right now.
It's happening here, bro. And in the more affluent neighborhoods, people are so concerned with them. And okay, we do have a problem. I was trying to figure out if anybody knew what the problem is. I've identified the problem. It's not that big of a deal if you can just spread your wings a little bit. We have a supply issue. It's been demonstrated time and time again that we cannot maintain proper supply to these inner city locations like inner city Atlanta, New York, Cincinnati, you freaking name it, big cities. We can't funnel in enough goods into the inner cities to satisfy the inner cities. And as such, they always become huge, enormous markup zones for just about anything you do buy in these areas because of the difficulty supplying them is, right? That's why the concept of the 15-minute city has been bandied around by the globalist agenda. I'm not thinking this is a terrible idea. I just don't think it can be mandated. It can be made easier to do than being in the inner city by dint of just being easier to supply. It may very well be the way of the future, and not necessarily because they showed up with a gun and made you go live there, but because it's easier to bike right across over there and get your watermelons than it is to get in your car and go drive down to the volleyball.
I hear you, Sasquatch, and I'm not necessarily disagreeing, but look back 100 years ago, let's say, horse and buggy, on foot, whatever the case. There definitely wasn't as many shops around or as close, and it was more difficult.
Sure.
So my point is, people figured it the fuck out, and people are lazy now. I'm not saying that's all of it. I'm just naming that a lot of people wouldn't be willing to do what needed to be done 100 years ago, for instance.
I fully agree with that. But another point is
like, all right, I would like to procreate here. Like, let me get on board with you guys. And like, oh no, not you though. We need someone more pinky out. You know what I'm saying? We need someone more sophisticated. We need someone more sophisticated to procreate than you. So it's like they don't really 100%.
Who said that? Who said that?
I'm just saying that's been my experience trying to assimilate with these internet groups. I'm not saying it's valid or that.
No, CJ, hold on. Well, you're making an error right out of the gate. And I've talked to you about this before. You are assuming these people are going to be honest with you because you're being honest with us.
That's why I was saying it wouldn't be a good metric.
and what is it called, an affirmation bias of your own belief structure in that you reflect, you project into the internet. That's not a bad thing, bro. I'm not down on you. I'm just saying this is something that changes with experience. You'll become more jaded, and you'll approach people more like me and Base do, where we just take shots at each other and see how they react. Because
I'm fighting that off so bad, I can't stand it. I see why y'all do it, but like, I am fighting it off as long as I can.
That's the thing. If I didn't take Base, he wouldn't think I respected him. I mean,
look, Sasquatch. We've known each other what, like 5-ish months, 6 months. I don't know. It's been
months. I don't know. It's been a minute.
It's been a while. I went on your show, right?
Right.
I've never look. We all different. We have preferences. But I've never had a problem with you. I mean, I don't think I have a problem with many people. I have problems.
I tried to have a problem with Base, but I couldn't articulate anything I actually disagreed with.
Okay. I mean, I'll take it. But you know what? I have issues at times with what people say, what they're promoting the message.
Dude, I want to give you some daps. You did something absolutely fucking amazing that at the time backstage, I'm talking to Flow State. He's like, what is he doing? And I'm like, that is genius. And he's like, how? I said, I can't explain it, but it's genius. That whole thing you did with Andrew, absolute fucking boss tier genius. You manipulated a 10,000, 20,000, 1.7 million sub channels to simply dance like puppets on a freaking string. And you weren't prepared for it all because you didn't expect it to work. I saw that shit coming from 10 million miles. And Flow State said, there is no way. I said, dude, he dropped a hook in the water and caught a whale. What do you do when you do that? You jump in with both feet and hope it goes viral. It doesn't matter if it's good or bad or ugly or what it is that it does. Just do it. And I'm like, that is absolute brilliance. I'm not saying you're brilliant. I'm saying the fact that you had the balls to follow through was better than all of the other anything that could have happened.
Well, now you got to fill us in on the situation.
Well, that's what brought me to his attention is that he stood up to Andrew. Like, you remember seeing that?
Yeah, it brought y'all into a lot of people's attention.
You know, here's the thing, Sasquatch. I appreciate that. If you knew what you don't know, I just mean most people don't know.
I can hypothesize what may have taken place, and I might have shot a full linear description of what I think might have happened. And Flow State looks at me and goes, "How the fuck do you do that?" I'm like, I don't know. See, the thing is these dominoes have to fall a very specific way, or that doesn't happen.
Yeah. Well.
So what happened? Fill my dumbass in because I don't know.
If you want to start telling the story based, I'll try to find supplemental clips for you. How about that? Does that help?
I don't even know how much of a story it was. He smoked cigarettes for his doctor. I don't know.
All right.
Okay. Is this a story about 2 packs a day? And if he doesn't smoke 2 packs a day, it'll kill him?
More here, but we're going to go straight through the heart of this thing right quick, and then you can expound further if you wish. Basically, Based started his channel. He diddy-bopped around a handful of places in the panelverse and encountered a handful of different people who took a mild amount of interest in him. And somehow in the process of this, he ended up in a direct confrontation with, what's his name? Andrew
Wilson.
Nobody cares.
Well, anyway, somehow Base gets under his skin in just the right way that Andrew responds completely open on the surface, does a full debate with the guy. I can't say it went well for Base, but it went great for him for a channel maneuver. He was on that. He lived rent free in people's mind for 2 months after that.
Dude,
it's still happening, by the way. Today, yesterday, the day before, they still come into the comments. His people.
If you would have had a couple hundred people watching you whenever that happened, it would have started a thing. You know
what was it? It's like 2,000 or some shit like that.
Yeah,
saying,
I was gonna say
too.
it was a
Like,
couple thousand. Yeah.
I saw it too, like what Sasquatch was saying. I noticed what was happening, so that's why.
Okay, I interviewed him right before all that trash set off, and it was not long after I interviewed Flow State. So I ended up in like a backstage with you just as it was fixing to happen. I think it was the day before the interview, and I was shooting shots, and somebody, I think it was What's Up Cynthia, was like, "Well, what is Base thinking?" I said, "Base is going shit. I caught a whale. I hope I can reel this son of a bitch in. I'll be viral by Tuesday." and she said, "There's no way." I said, "What are you talking about?" I do exactly the same thing. I'll jump into a place and see what wiggles. When it wiggles, I'll make it wiggle again and again, and eventually we'll set up some kind of a discussion or rapport or whatever. But if you're going to be offended by everything that comes out of my mouth, I probably ain't going to talk to you a whole bunch.
Yeah.
So I don't know how you managed to pull in Andrew that far. If I was you, I would absolutely abuse it to the fullest extent. I have a few ideas if you've run out.
Yeah, no, I mean,
just saying, dude. Like,
you know, here's the thing. I kind of leave it alone, and then his buddy, his boy, whatever they are, they always around. Like coming to my channel, coming to my chat, comments. And it's like, damn, like, you haven't forgotten about me. I forgot about you.
You scorned the ortho bros, you know?
Yeah.
Like,
if I was just dead wrong and my points were wrong and he was just the winner, he's just the best, I'm the worst, why would you even think about me? That shit would have been under the carpet, like, dead. But the fact they still come in like, no, Andrew bodied you, whatever. And I get it, the optics are determined by the audience in terms of the audience optics.
You're not wrong.
Yeah, no, I get it.
You weren't well prepared for the for what took place. I don't think you had actually done a legitimate debate or even anything resembling one that I'm aware of. There might have been a couple, but they weren't nothing like that.
In my opinion,
I would do it different today. I would say that.
In my opinion, that wasn't so much of a debate as it was two dudes having a pissing contest. You know what I'm saying?
Well,
like, you guys are like
there's a certain thing. All right, so a debate has a moderator. The moderator executes.
I don't know that you can call it a debate.
Yeah, don't fuck them, by the way.
Robert's Rules of Order, what the fuck ever. Wilson's Rules of Order. I can't remember. Anyway.
No, you're right. Robert's Rules of Order.
Yeah, if you're not abiding by these things, it's not a debate. It's a discussion between two morons, and it's nothing beyond that. So, I mean, it's cool and everything having the Raging Tomato over here being cute, calling herself a moderator at a debate, and that's fine as far as the two people participating are willing to accept that. I don't have an issue with it. I think it's fucking gorgeous, the whole thing. You know me, entertainment value, baby. Entertain me. I don't care how
Are you guys familiar with how actual debates go down?
I am.
Not like that.
Not like that.
The subject matter is it's predetermined, and both sides have their arguments already laid out and prepared and given to the moderator, and fact checking should happen in real time.
Well, that's what the whole blood.
I have a format that I've set up on my StreamYard that I've never had a chance to use because I haven't come across enough people that are clever enough to use it to actually do a proper presentation debate, right? There's a difference between your common, two-side multi-tiered debate where you have a couple of different debaters and they kind of hand off everything, and that's all well and good and everything. It's kind of a boring format. There's something called a presentation debate where you have two people who square off on opposite sides, or at least non-linear sides, and bring their own presentation materials to present their arguments. And so, whether it's a small background tune or a little bit of media or a video that someone else has done or whatever it is, I haven't found enough people capable of actually bringing
what you're talking about, I've thought about and would love to do, which is just debate someone using memes and music.
That's kind of funny. I don't think it'd work though.
It could work really well, or it goes down the toilet.
You take 1 minute to actually argue the point, and 30 seconds to deliver memes that do so as well.
If I could get people to stick around for that, I could see that happening.
I do. Anybody watch memes? Memes are addictive.
I mean, like 30 seconds of me saying a point, and then like this song that really drives my point home.
But the thing is there's two problems with running a moderator style debate sphere on YouTube. No one abides by it, and you can unmute yourself on StreamYard. So the only way to do this is to have a primary presentation screen and a secondary personal screen, with number one in your StreamYard being a permanent camera that's the moderator. Right. The moderator.
Good luck finding an unbiased moderator as well.
But that's what I was saying about the Raging Tomato. Both sides of the debate agreed for her to be the moderator, and so that's really the only part of this that follows any type of debate rules whatsoever. Because
so you're right, Sasquatch.
Space. Have you seen my lion? You seen my lion, right?
Yeah.
I just want to make sure you see mine. All right.
Yeah, have you seen mine?
I don't know. Wait,
has anybody seen my pussy?
Sorry. I don't know what you're talking about.
So Sasquatch, you are correct, right? I'm not complaining. I don't think I've complained about anything regarding the debate. With that said, I didn't ask for either moderator that came up, right? The first one was supposed to be Glenn. I didn't ask for Glenn. That was Andrew. The second one, I also didn't ask for it. That was Andrew. And it came to me, and each time I was like, all right, let's do it. Okay, cool. Right. Whatever. So I see why he did what he did regarding that. I mean, I already knew why he did what he did. And it is what it is. Sure. But it was definitely on some... I mean, look, objectively, the audience, sure, we got thousands of fans saying that Based lost, whatever the case.
But does that matter? I don't think it matters.
It does and it doesn't, right? In terms of audience optics, I suppose it matters. In terms of the truth, it definitely doesn't matter. And I think that in many ways, the truth, I proved my points within the debate, and he proved some of my points after the debate, just in how he rolls, who he is. And that's fine. But the point is, people don't want, it seems to me, what's true or what's right, even if they're falling for orthodoxy, Christian reasons, whatever.
Look,
they want what's exciting. They want what's, sounds good. Good lie better than a bad truth.
I don't know. I'm one of those people who can argue for lawful but awful. So I don't put a whole lot of emotion into my debate tactics, and I don't generally debate anyway. In fact, I find debating to be a very constrained method of communication. So the impression that people have that they are having a debate is kind of funny to me, and that's why I show up for them, is because it's like watching a bunch of monkeys fuck football, and it doesn't matter how educated or intelligent the people are who are participating in these abortions, but it's true. It's nothing like what it's claimed. It's not anything like what it's advertised to be, but it is exactly what it is supposed to be.
I agree. Yeah, what you said to CJ a little earlier, I think that would be applicable. What's that?
Was that mean? I'm sorry.
No. I'm saying I think that would have been applicable in some terms to where I was in regards to the picture at that point. You know, it was sort of dumb of me to think there would have been any regards of neutrality, regardless of what he said or the optics.
Okay. Let me
Look, anything he wanted to pull up on screen. Oh, bring up this, bring up that, bring up that. Had nothing to do with the shit. And it just boom on screen. And now we're on that. And it's like, what the fuck is this?
Right. Well, that's what I'm saying about preparedness.
Yeah, sure.
And I'm not trying to be rude when I say this. I'm actually saying you did extremely well, but it was very much like a lion cub messing with an adult leopard, right? You just haven't done this before. You haven't been there before.
You're right.
Nobody expects you to get it right on the first time out. You just happen to nail that motherfucker right in the nuts right out the gate, unfortunately. But you learned so much more. I cannot spend months teaching what you learned in 3 weeks.
Right. Well, here's what I'm saying, though. It's like he did nail him right out the gate, though, but Andrew still had the clout or whatever it is, the following to push it over to the side.
And you know that doesn't matter.
Like, even though he did kind of get crushed, it's just like there's too many.
Well, he got crushed by numbers. See, here's the thing: if somebody with 1 million subscribers comes to your channel, and you're a monetized channel, and suddenly you're getting 18 to 20 times more super chats and stickers, and your PayPal's ringing off the freaking hook the whole time, and then you invite somebody like me on, and it's dead city. Nobody's giving anybody money. Screw all of you bastards, right? Because I'm not asking for money, so why should I ask for money for you, right? That makes no sense. It's a very rare thing for me to go into the whole charity thing involving my channel, but, you know, I'll do it under the right circumstances. So,
and what you were saying in regards to the drip off for the moderator, as it would be, everything you just said, but for the moderator. Like, oh, he's bringing in views. Oh, look at the clout. Yeah, yes, I'm going to put anything on the fucking screen that he says. No, moderator. I know. I know.
The moderator. This is not for either person that's participating. Andrew's going to get what Andrew's going to get. It doesn't matter where he headlines at. Wherever he goes, he makes sure he's headlines, and you don't really have to worry about it past that. Wherever he happens to be, provided he's making a good showing of it, they donate to the platform that platforms him as well. They don't donate to the opponent.
Yeah, I didn't get very much. I think probably, thousands came in. I think I got like $100, you know.
Right. But at the same time, you lived rent free. You still live rent free in some of those people's head because of some things that you said that are incontrovertible and can only be denied by beseeching unto quote from scripture. Look,
do you guys understand the tactic though that him and like Jim Bob use against people?
Sure.
It's called quiz mastering. It's called quiz mastering, and they throw lots of jabs to get you into a corner, and then attack that corner.
Sure.
And they constantly change the subject and just try to back you into a position.
There's another method that I've seen used. I haven't seen them use it, but I've seen it used to great effect. And it's when you trifecta your points. Anytime you try. All right. So if you speak ambiguously, it's impossible to back you into a corner. But if each time you decide to make a point, instead of making one, you make 3 points, it's virtually impossible for anyone with a single question to corner you with any of it, because you can just interpret it from whichever of the 3 perspectives you choose. And if people don't realize you're doing this, you can dance them around all over the freaking right down the garden path.
That's what Paul does.
That's what Paul does. That's one of the things that Talcott's trying to figure out how to actually implement. And it's an old debate tactic that was used back in the turn of the century.
But it's a debate tactic that if you're in a real debate, you get laughed off the stage.
I think I'm capable of doing that if I wanted to make my entire life about it. But it's like, I don't want to do that for a living.
It's a disingenuous debate tactic, though.
It is, but it's not typically utilized in official debating. It's utilized like in whenever you have like the Speaker of the House versus the whip or whatever, and they're having a conversation in front of Congress.
I definitely. The reason I understand what Paul's doing is because that's how I interact with cops, and I'm assuming that's where he got it from.
I don't, sir.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Don't interact with cops.
Well, I try not to, but I mean, I don't anymore.
That man or woman straight to her face that I don't have private conversations with public officials.
Yeah, I just won't say anything. We don't talk to police. But Sasquatch, that's a great kind of nuanced point, right? The trifecta. Yeah. And one broader point I made is, and I think it stands truer than ever, he essentially carrying around 48 laws of power in his back pocket. And right, I've read the book, probably many of us read the book. And I'm just saying that tactics, whether you want to frame it the trifecta, whatever the case, it's a lot of power plays. And I understand the usefulness, but it's sort of the antithesis of being in good faith, right?
Right. It's when someone brings 3 points to a conversation, and they repeatedly utilize the 3-point system, and anytime you try to question them, they pivot to whichever point they can actually make in that framework, right? You know that you're A, dealing with a narcissist who thinks he can talk down anybody, and B, not going to be honest about your questions. He's going to interpret your questions in his most beneficial way. And I'm not taking shots at Paul here. I'm just saying it's methodology. He does it excellently. It's perfectly legitimate as far as content's concerned, but it's not going to solve any problems.
Hey, question for you, Sasquatch. I don't recall. Did you see the stream? This going back before the debate on Glenn Lawrence's with Andrew Wilson and I. Did you see that?
I caught a few clips from it.
Okay, all right.
I think Clue clipped a little bit from it. I think maybe Stormcrow, maybe.
Ah, okay. Yeah, that was a very interesting. I didn't expect it. He just popped in, and it's like 2 a.m. Like I was about to go to sleep. He popped in. All his fanboys pop in. Right? It was like me versus panel. It was like 1v9.
Sure,
sure. And Glenn Lawrence just like, oh, I'm neutral, bro. But everything, but you know what I mean. But everything was.
He's standing over there with a fucking umbrella going, don't splash on me.
Yeah. No, it was good times. But I actually thought that was fun. I mean, it was interesting to be in the pit. You know what I mean? Like you're in the shits and you're on your own. Nobody with you.
I had an issue trying to get into Black YouTube for a while. Like I would show up. They would basically just cuss at me for a while and then kick me out and ban me, like permanently.
You're white.
I know. I say so.
I should have brought you in.
Okay. So let me tell you how I actually cracked this egg open. So I'm on Flow States one night, and Clue is in the chat, and he Flow State's ending it, and Clue, I think it was Clue, emailed me. Truism, the Storm Crows panel link instead of his channel link, and actually went into the StreamYard, went backstage on Truism, and he happened to have, I don't know, 6 or 7 different Black YouTubers up, all creators. I mean, I got to talk to several of them without because he was showing something, there wasn't any camera, right? And they all knew I was white as the driven snow. You could tell from my voice, obviously.
It's the voice. That's what.
What I like about those guys is they do not let the power game shit continue. You know what I'm saying? Like
wait, what boys? What's the name? You talking about Not for Humans?
I just mean blacks in general. They normally don't play the power game shit very well. They'll call it out.
50 Cent, Power of the Dollar,
Yeah.
and Robert Greene.
Actually, I just learned that 50 Cent has a freaking there's some kind of book that
He did a book with Robert Greene. It's very good.
Okay, you know what I'm talking about.
Surprisingly good. Surprisingly
you know what I'm
good.
talking about.
All right, hold on, I got you. I'll show you. Their
Robert
demographic.
Greene's the Laws of Power guy, right?
Yeah. 48 Laws. And then
Yeah,
him
you
and
know what
50
I was
Cent did
talking
like they did like 50 something. I don't remember the name of it, but yeah.
Yeah.
What do you got, Sasquatch? What are you pulling up?
I'm trying to.
You got Robert Greene on your phone? Are you
No,
FaceTiming?
What it is? Truism's live right now.
I went through a phase where I thought I was going to have to read that book just to survive.
So,
hey,
can I bring something up real quick? What Base brought up when you said something, CJ? He brought up a couple of counterpoints, and that word is called defeasible, which in any kind of discussion with two good faith people, in good faith, you bring up a counterpoint to what they're saying. It means at best, you need to rethink the premises and conclusion, and at worst, annulment. And I don't know if you guys have ever heard of that before or not.
You just convinced me that you're the type of person that drops common loot.
That drops common loot?
What
does that mean?
You don't know what common loot is?
GTA?
Like in video games?
Yeah, you heard it in PC.
And I understand the common loot.
I'm just saying, I don't like it when people sound smarter than me. Stop it.
Hey man, I had to learn that, like, just debating a guy in the alley smoking cigarettes, because he's like, how come you're Mr. Exception to the rule? And then I went down a little rabbit hole, and I was like, what does this actually mean? Because I know what he's talking about, like morally and ethically, he's not correct about. And then we're talking about bullshit.
I think she
and
had
stuff
her
like that.
channels nuked. I don't see it anymore. It was we need more tyranny, and the chick's name is Tyranny, and she runs her whole channel on the platform of white oppression over black people, the full cultural Marxist agenda, and the really easy shots. And like I said, sometimes she has a channel, sometimes she doesn't. It takes
I
me a
think
little
the
while.
argument can be made that the black supremacists are more powerful than the white supremacists.
That argument's very dangerous on YouTube and as your Sasquatch. Because here's the thing. When you take that conversation and put the
I wasn't trying to like push it. I was
You just wanted to pray and spray.
just
whatever.
saying.
Shots fired. But yeah.
Spray and pray.
What I was getting at is there is a level of animosity and hate that is available to black YouTubers that are just flat out not available to white YouTubers, period. We can't do any of that because it's seen as oppression, it's seen as a hate crime, it's seen as this, that, and the other thing.
I actively try to make nice with them, actually.
But it's so condescending. That's why they hate every single one of us, because of people like you, bro. It's if you met this guy and he was invisible, right? You would judge him on the content of his character. But because he's black, you're going to make nice with him? Man, fuck you and everybody like you on that one. I'm just saying. That is so fake, bro. That is your basic bitch. You need a goddamn pumpkin latte in your fucking hand
My idea is like, look, I'm white. Let me bring you over to the greener side.
Hey, save your complex.
I'm being sarcastic. Okay, I gotta find my cigar here. I'm tweaking.
I'm sorry, I'm having too much fun. I'll quit.
Sasquatch, do you know the YouTube group No Humans? I think that Fatty runs it, or he's with them.
God.
It's part of his group.
Is that Team Fatty?
Yeah, Team Fatty. So ironically, Uncle Fatty and I showed up on their stream one night, and I just seen it in the live streams, and I was about to hop on, and I seen Uncle Fatty hop on, and I was like, what the fuck? Like,
Yeah,
all
let
right,
him do
cool.
it.
So then I hopped on right after. And we got on there and they were like, oh, this white dude, Uncle Fatty, and he was, he's like, yeah, I'm white. And then I was like, I did my 4.4% speech. You know what I mean? And they were like, all right, he gets the N pass, but only the letter N. And I was like, oh, okay. So I was like, all right, what up, my N's? And immediately one of the dudes bugged out. He was like, this white motherfucker. Like, it was this whole shit. And I think I got booted because I don't even know. But then I booted him. And then I came back up. And then they scolded him. And then he bounced. But I was like, damn, like, why all this? Like, all I said was N's. They gave me the N pass. I said N's. I didn't even say not even the rest. It was good though. It was a good time. I liked it.
Yeah. No, see, you can't trust people at all. This is not any particular type of people. It's just everyone on Earth is suspect. But yeah.
So after that, I was like, all right, you know what? Because it caused all this, I will relinquish my N card. And they were like, all right, thank you. And I was like, what the fuck? I was like, why'd you give me this shit? If you were going to take it away, I give it back. You're like, oh, thanks.
Just let
like,
people
what?
vote that. Stop giving it away. It's not safe.
Is it possible
it's not safe.
Is it possible that this can be a fatty free zone? Because I find that guy like one of the most annoying people in the panel verse.
Okay, so
I like him.
Wait, Uncle Fatty or Team Fatty?
I don't like
the Portugal guy, because he doesn't listen to understand. He listens to fucking respond.
Wait,
and
who's
he
the
takes over
Portugal
shit.
one? Who's Portugal?
Team Fatty.
Black.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
He's the one that can't afford a shirt.
Hey, I will say this: Team Fatty came through with a $250 super chat during my super chat war with Resto.
Well, how can you hate him then?
Yeah, I can, but I never heard from him again after that. But nonetheless, that was cool.
It happened.
I like that.
Yeah.
Shout out.
That's cool shit. No, I dig it. But that's what I was kind of saying. The whole debate scene and the moderator situation is when the moderator pulls down a 24-fold increase in donations in a single night by hosting a single person, and it has nothing to do with the other person that's involved. It's going to be a one-sided show.
Well, it did have to do with it was the opposite, right? It was like, we're good, fuck you. So, I mean, it did have to do with it. It just was not in a good way.
But yeah, no, that's what I'm saying.
He did the Jay Prince, though. Jay Prince used to be one of his guys. I'm under the understanding.
I still never came across him. I heard about him, but I never came across him.
I heard the name.
I'm just saying, I wouldn't want that done to me. That's all I'm saying. So if I take his money, I would be very careful how I talk to him.
Who? What are you talking about?
Fatty.
Jay Prince?
No, Fatty.
Talking about Team Fatty, right?
Yeah.
Okay, all right. So my issue with Team Fatty, like you said, is that he's not a genuine person on its surface. He joins a panel specifically to either take over the panel and talk about whatever he wants to, or to manipulate the other people into looking like a fool for wanting to talk about what they're talking about. And I don't know. I consider him a panel chiller. You know, there's panel killers and panel chillers. You've got people who pop up and scream the N-word, that try to break the panel.
He's a disingenuous piece of shit that doesn't have the life experience that I think he thinks he's talking about.
Well, no, clearly he comes from a moneyed situation and has been educated in the finest universities. He's not a moron, and if you think he is, you shall find yourself wanting, sir.
Yeah, no, he's definitely not stupid.
So what he's doing is exactly what he needs to do to make the more moneyed situation be more moneyed, and he does it well. Now, that I don't personally enjoy it is no hair off his nuts. which is probably well waxed by his 17 wives that he never
17
mentioned. I don't know. I'm just
years
guessing.
old.
I'm just
Now,
saying.
you know, the first time I came across him, we got into it. Like, we got into
Of
it,
course you
into it.
did.
Yeah, of course.
Of course you did. You loved that shit, dude. That
Yeah,
was
no, I did. It was on the tomato panel, and he
All
was
right.
so pissed. He
I
was so
bet
mad.
dude, I bet you he is absolutely baffled by me because I've come across him before I started my channel, and never in a million years thought I'd ever actually encounter him. And lo and behold, we end up on a panel together, and he keeps taking his common, usual shots. And I've already heard them all, seen them all, and I find him, mildly annoying at this point. It's just that if he had a better command of English, he would be a better showman about it. But as it is, it just sounds snarky. Everything sounds snarky, and I don't know if that's his fault or his English teacher's fault. I kind of feel like somebody should be given a swirly.
It's him not having a very good father's fault, if you ask me. We can put it that way. Like, there's no humbleness about him, and it's like, dude, you're not only is your name Fatty, but you're also fat. So it's like,
I would not be surprised
bro,
if he
like
had a degree in something like social communications or freaking technical diversity of spirit or some damn shit like that. Underwater Inuit basket weaving.
he probably has a degree in fucking women's studies. That's why he thinks he knows what he knows about women. And it's like,
I'm confused by how he gets off trying to portray himself as like a life coach type thing. Like, what's that?
Oh, is it?
Does he?
I
don't know.
what you
What
mean.
is this channel? What is
he's a fat wannabe Andrew Tate 2.0. Is it not that obvious?
Well, I'm pretty sure he's a socialist, regardless of all of that. I mean, I just don't see him giving accurate advice ever. Like, the only thing I ever heard that I actually straight up agreed with, he told this guy one night that going to the clubs and looking for women was where he was making his error. That he should be looking in this passage of his normal life. And I'm like, yes and no. You need to change your normal life. If you don't have the interactions that you're wanting to have, you have to change your normal course of activities to create opportunity for those interactions to take place. And here's what I suggest you do myself. You can go to the bar if you want to. I'm not telling you not to. What I am saying is there's something in your life that you do when nobody's looking. Go and do that in public with other people socially. And inevitably, you'll come across some cute little chubby chick that you can take out running on Tuesdays and work out all the issues, as it were, right? I mean, it'll happen. You can't try to force it. And that's the issue I have with like these pickup gurus and stuff, these red pill folks. They're saying the wrong thing unless you're wanting to create a base of enslaved gentlemen who are completely incapable of existing in the modern era. These guys would do better learning to change a tire.
I think a lot of it that I've seen is, in a sense, in part, I mean, to a great degree, pedestalizing pussy. I mean, that's a lot of it. Oh, you should do this for women. You should do that for women. You should do that for women. And
But
it's like,
there's a limit. And this is the thing that
That's how it kind of did
The
a
limit.
number on me because I was like, yeah, well, I will learn to change all the fucking tires. Like, I will quit sales and do construction. Like, fucking, it doesn't get you anything. Come
Well,
on.
what I'm getting at is this. You can't expect someone who gets paid by people who are looking for the way to go about succeeding in life to actually tell them how to succeed in life. That would not continue to get them paid. So what you do is tell them some some 37 platitudes of freaking power or whatever.
No, I agree with you. It's sort of profiteering,
I
right?
agree
I
with
mean,
you.
would you agree with that term in conjunction, right? Like profiteering in terms of we're going to sort of create a problem. Not that you don't have problems, not that we don't
I
all
have a
have
better
problems,
term.
but
You're
we'll
not
create a problem to then give you the solution, but it's not really a solution. It's like a band-aid to the problem they created in the head.
evangelizing. These people are evangelizing being an asshole.
Hmm.
They
No, you're absolutely right, Sasquatch. And I got hated on Flow stream one night. I don't know if you were there, Base, but I know Fatty was, and I was trying to explain this bullshit that I came up with in college called the no game game. And rule number one of the no game game, which is the hardest rule to follow, is when you're around women, you always be a gentleman. Like, always do the right thing. And, like, eventually, if you try to do that just one principle, whether you're around women or not, you do it long enough and it becomes a part of your personality, you know? And it makes you a better person. There's not
this works a lot easier, and it might get your tires slashed, but just stick with me. Daddy issues. Rather than doing all of that, do all of that as much as you want, but do that with girls with daddy issues, and it'll work.
No, you don't got to do anything with girls with daddy issues other than be, in my experience.
Careful.
Them's the easiest ones. That's like picking the fruit that's falling off the tree. You know, that's the easiest thing to swoop up. But like, that's not going to make you as a man happy in the long run.
No, sir. Cougar is the easiest fruit to swoop in and pick up. You know,
there's a solid debate there, but most of those cougars are probably going to have daddy issues as well.
Hey, no, I'm not debating the effectiveness of the prescription works. That's all I'm saying.
I've had friends that specifically go out and look for chicks with daddy issues, and none of them are happily married.
I'm married.
Does that make sense?
Daddy issues, yes. Yes.
Okay. You wouldn't run into more women with daddy issues than not, based on stats. I mean, it just would be. The average family is broken.
I got a question. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. Go ahead.
No.
Okay. So are daddy issues from white girls different from daddy issues with black girls? Are they different issues? Are they the same issues? I mean,
I think they're probably different, but they also overlap, right? It's a Venn diagram, I guess. But
I mean, you would assume
probably more than not.
All right,
more than not.
I hear you.
I think it would be safe to say that the panel right here might not have enough experience to speak on it.
I mean, I got some experience with daddy-issued women.
Man is black.
Yeah,
I'm black on the inside and out.
Okay.
Look, I've been with I don't know, too many Asians that were adopted. They definitely had daddy issues. I mean, in particular, one demographic, right? And it's kind of always different, but always the fucking same. It's always the same. It lends towards, I mean, in a broader picture, feminism in terms of I don't trust my own situation. I don't trust men. And I want to be the man that I wish I had in a father, boyfriend, husband, whatever.
I do the whole lead by example thing. I try not to bitch at people. I used to bitch at people all the time. I'm really, really good at it. And I just kind of, it was the Xanax, man. I got out of the habit of it when I was on the Xanax.
What the fuck?
Sasquatch, you're a secret gentleman, aren't you?
Dude, I'm from the South. I'm the most courteous individual you'll ever meet in public. Yes, sir. No, sir. Yes, ma'am. The whole 9 yards.
Look, I mean, let's be real. If I was, you know, a lot of the popular types of dudes nowadays, I would send my wife to Sasquatch to get fucked. Right? Like, he a gentleman. Now, I'm not like that. I'm not an Adam 22 or Andrew
Hold on, I
Tate,
gotta
whatever.
clip
Yeah, just clip
Gotta
it.
clip that. Don't you dare take this down for the next 27 seconds. I'll be right back.
I feel like that came out a little wrong.
No. I meant it very right. In terms of a lot of dudes are kind of cucks. Like they have a cuck mentality. So Sasquatch, a gentleman, right? If you were going to send your woman to somebody, why not Sasquatch? I mean, I wouldn't do it. I've never been that way, but I'm just saying
I'm not sending my woman to
if you
anyone.
were. No, I'm just saying if you were. A lot of dudes are that, you know.
I don't even want to entertain this myself. You know what I mean?
Hell, bro.
I'm not deleting it. You clip it, bro. I don't care.
I'm just saying, Sasquatch, very polite. He would wine and dine her and court her and do all the shit I won. You know what I mean? So
no, he wouldn't. Not if you just sent her over to his house. You know, he's just like, hey, let's go out to the shed.
Look, he's in the woods. Here's his GPS. Make your way there. Come on, hurry the fuck up.
Hurry the fuck up. Almighty.
All right, you done clipping Sasquatch? What the fuck?
Absolutely not. This guy has so few freaking subscribers, I can't even find his goddamn channel.
Are you talking about me?
Yes. I'm gonna interview you. We got to get you at least.
Yeah, you got buried by the algos. After Sasquatch.
You let me know when you're not talking about me. I'll unmute you.
Look, after.
No, hey,
Sasquatch,
I've been following you for a while, and it like before we became friends and we're talking on the phone and stuff. You type in Carpenter's Journey in the YouTube thing, and like you're like 3 pages deep, dude.
I unmuted him.
Yeah.
Sasquatch, does this mean that if I ever was to become that dude, I got to do it now? Do I have to do that?
Become what, dude? What dude you want to be?
All right, I'll do it. Clip that too.
Only if it's a girl you don't care about that has daddy issues.
Look, once you take her in, she your problem then. That's the thing.
I screwed the pooch. Damn it. Hold on. Pause.
At least it wasn't my wife.
Nice. Which one is it?
All right, so CJ, do you feel less depressed than before I came on, Sasquatch came on, ODarn came on? You feel better?
Yeah,
you do? Okay. That's good.
Yeah, I kind of pissed him off there earlier.
You made him mad?
I felt bad. I felt bad about
What did you do? What did you do?
I was essentially telling him what Sasquatch was saying was like, and this is advice I've given him before because he plays the guitar. So I was like, dude, what you need to do, go be a regular at a blues bar, and just on Fridays or whatever day of the week you choose, go get a burger and tater tots, and have a beer or two. Yeah.
Okay.
What's wrong?
Sweet potato.
Do you remember getting stabbed, Based?
What's that?
Based got stabbed once. Do you remember?
I did. Yeah, I got stabbed by an
basically
ex-bitch.
telling me to hang out with the bitches that want to stab me.
Don't do that. They
No,
don't. Look, here's the
bad.
thing. They don't have any accountability. They'll stab you and do whatever after.
They'll stab you.
Yeah, and then the police, they don't give a fuck.
I know that.
Including the DA. The DA will not give a shit.
I know.
So,
They're gonna have
you know,
their side. I know.
yeah, you fucked at that point.
Yeah.
So I was essentially telling him, like, you got to go do things. You got to go put yourself out there. You know?
For
and he's like,
what?
no,
Well, hold on. For what objective?
because he wants to find a woman and have a kid.
Okay.
Yeah, but just
And I was telling him, like, look, a woman isn't going to fall out of the sky and land in your backyard.
right.
Well-
but just going out to a bar and playing guitar, I seem way more likely to get stabbed than married.
No, you don't go to the bar to play the guitar. You go to the bar to enjoy the music of the guitar players.
One of your boyfriends is gonna get mad. They're gonna get jealous. I'm gonna get stabbed.
That's all fear-based in your head.
Who's gonna get jealous and stabbed? Who did that?
Nah, it was a hypothetical.
CJ, how many people in your like city, town, whatever?
Uh-oh.
What the fuck,
The clip's ready.
Sasquatch?
The
He
clip's
gonna?
ready.
All right, do it.
No, it ain't ready. I just got the clips.
Do it live.
I know what I said. I said
know.
Sasquatch could fuck. All right, go on.
I heard you.
Don't feel bad about it. This dude has all kinds of screenshots of me. I don't have. A single one
I
of
don't feel bad. I would say it again.
Seats.
All right, but with that,
Costly over seats.
so how many peepholes in your area? Is it like 100K, 10K, a million? I don't know.
What was that? Peephole? What?
How many people? What's the population of your city or whatever?
Well, I'll have to look that up because I do not know.
I mean, is it like mid-size, big, small, dense, girthy? All right, don't answer that last one.
Very narrow.
Does it have herpes, your city? Go on. AIDS.
Hold on, CJ. My mother-in-law just brought up a really good point.
Is it food? If not, send her back in the
The
kitchen.
population of Gastonia, North Carolina, which is the town I was born in, I no longer reside there, but I'm right around the corner, is
Okay.
83,942 as of 2023.
Okay, so that's kind of medium small-ish. But with that said, there's probably about 45K women and probably about a couple thousand that are single. And of those single ones, none of them actually single. I've never met a single woman in my life.
Right, they're all fucking like dudes, yeah.
Well, no, I'm not saying they're fucking lots of dudes. There's some that aren't, but nonetheless, they're talking to other dudes, right? So maybe they're friend zone, whatever. But the point is, get out there, talk, right, and mingle, and be prepared to fail. Look, I talked about. I don't know if you were there, but I asked out some random woman at a farmer's market like a month ago. And we went out, and she was a raging feminist. I had no idea, but she was like, flush the babies down the toilet, all this shit.
How'd that
go? Not great, but she was from the country, like farming girl, but she was in like a city girl body. I don't know, or the opposite. But the point is, I don't regret it. Like, she was attractive enough, and I felt like talking to her, and I was like, I literally went up to her. I'm not a pickup dude. I don't pick up women, like pickup artists. But I went up to her, and I was like, hey, do you have a boyfriend? And she was like, no. And I was like, all right, do you want to talk sometime, maybe go out? That was it. It was no pickup line. It wasn't canned or anything. I just, just like, hey, this is what I'm thinking. Do you want to do this? And she was like, yeah, here's my number. So I'm just saying that if you try, if you feel like it, you might fail. Like I sort of failed in terms of it was a waste of time. Like I wouldn't, you know what I mean? Like I wouldn't want to deal with her.
But you're not afraid of failing, are you, Base?
Well, I think we all are. I'm not saying I'm impervious. I was probably a little bit. I mean, to be honest, I was probably a little nervous at the moment. You know what I mean? Like I'm not used to I'm not a pickup artist. I don't just go out looking for women to ask out.
That's the thing is I did do all that, and now that I'm older.
Sasquatch.
Now that I'm older, like I feel like I don't want to rekindle that shit that I used to do. Like my favorite, to give you an example,
what you're doing right now though isn't working.
No shit. But my favorite thing used to be.
That's cold, dude. That is cold.
It was true.
What was that?
We've all given him the same advice, which is like go out there. And hold on, let me.
Yeah,
this might be a little cold too. This is what my mother-in-law just said because I popped her up on camera and she waved
It
at
sound
everyone.
funny, yeah.
And I was like, look, we're trying to get my buddy to get a girl. And she's like, well, what did you say to him? And I was like, he likes music. And I told him to go to a blues bar, get a burger and some fries once a week, become a regular, and you'll probably meet a chick. And her response, no, you might meet a chick. And her response to that, I was like, but he doesn't like doing it. And her response to that was, if he can't commit to trying just to do that, how can he commit to a woman?
I don't want it. I saw him.
And I was like, damn.
There's
like
some
that,
truth to that.
yeah, that's mother-in-law coming straight out the right field like an Ichiro throw to third.
Let's be real. Look,
I don't know
CJ,
that I'm ready to go do that shit again.
Yeah, but hold up. Even if, let's just say if you went up to 10 women tonight after this, you probably shouldn't, but let's say you did.
I won't, I promise.
And let's say that 5 of them said yes, and that'd be some crazy odds. That'd be pretty good on your part.
More problems to deal with.
Well, hold up. No, well, yeah, okay. My point is that out of those 5, probably 5 of them would be, like, at the end of the day, trash. Like, not worth, I mean, I'm just saying, you're thinking of it like, oh, I need to find a woman.
Where was the hopefulness in that comment there?
No, it's not hopeful. What I'm saying is...
I see that.
No, bro.
There was none.
There was no hope.
What I'm saying is, depending on your standards, it may take a while. Like, you might have to run through like 20, 30 hood rats.
Base got it all off base. Listen, what you need to do is get you
younger, believe it or not. I
get
know
you a little bit of.
wants to hear
No,
that.
man, I got you. Get you a little bit of maple syrup, put it behind one ear, and a little bit of bacon grease, and put it behind the other ear. And go to the Waffle House at 2 a.m. and pick up the chick sitting in the corner.
I know how to pick up hookers. I'm not trying
to. Don't ask her if she's coming home with you. Ask her what she wants for breakfast.
The last Waffle House, I mean, you brought up Waffle House. The last one I went to in Georgia. Actually, you're in Georgia. Matter of fact, Sasquatch. Anyways, last Waffle House I've been to in Georgia, I'm getting a coffee. And as I'm drinking my coffee, something shoots by. And I was like, what the fuck was that? It was a cockroach. I found... No. It could have been. But it turned out to be a cockroach.
That way, bro. Do you know
what we call it?
And he had friends, Sasquatch. There was more. I'm just saying there was extra.
No, they don't travel alone. It's entertainment value.
It's a garnish.
But do you know why Waffle House workers use an ice pick to flip the waffles? Because an ice pick isn't stopped by a bulletproof vest.
Okay.
I miss the
who was it? Smoke? Something Smoke. He got smoked at a Waffle House. I can't remember the name.
There's some rough Waffle Houses in Georgia. You need to be careful. Like, some of them aren't actually functioning. Some of them are actually like fronts for drug rings. They're like tax.
That could have been.
You're not supposed to go to those.
This was. I'm trying to think.
Wait, do you know the good Waffle Houses? Is that what you're trying to tell me here?
Yeah, basically, I know a handful of
the good ones.
I
can't think of the name.
To go to also.
Yeah. So if I go to one of the good ones and I want like a number 7 with a Sprite, that's like cocaine and.
No. Oh, the good ones, right? No, they're not all the same. Some are just tax sinks. They're meant to be a write off. Some are straight up drug fronts, like you're talking about. But no, it's.
I went to a Waffle House a month ago for the first time in like 30 years.
I'm sorry, I can't what you do when I'm not around.
I was deeply disappointed in the menu. Like, it is not the same menu that it was when I was in my 20s.
Open.
They didn't have chicken fried steak with gravy on it. I was just like, what the fuck?
Oh, like, Sasquatch. I remember the name. It was Valdosta.
Vidalia or Valdosta?
Dosta.
Were they talking about onions or cars?
It was Dosta. It was down south, like South Georgia.
Vidalia is only about 45 minutes from Valdosta, so I mean, it's not that far apart.
Anything that sounds Spanish.
Valdosta is Valdosta is an interesting place, brother.
Oh, so you know about it? There's a aura.
Yeah, yeah, it does have a bit of an aura.
Okay, got a stank. All right. Well, that's where I was. It had cockroaches.
I'm sorry.
No, it's.
Where do you live, based, if you don't mind me asking?
New York.
You live in New York, for real?
Yeah.
I thought you were somewhere in the Midwest for some reason. I have no idea.
I should be. I'm trying to go to
I seriously
Wyoming.
thought you were somewhere in the Midwest. I don't know why I thought that.
Excellent.
I was in.
Do you live in Oswego?
No, I'm familiar, but no. I was in Mexico, and then they kicked me out. They.
I don't know where I got that idea from. But
They arrested me at the border, and then I got dumped back in the U.S. But I was in Mexico very briefly. Yeah.
I've been thinking about going over there and swimming back to get some of these rights they got.
I know that's a good idea. It's
Yeah,
recycling.
try that. See how it works out for you.
You got to recycle your citizenship.
They'll put me up in a hotel and.
I don't believe it. They'll find out you're a citizen and kick your ass out.
That could
You're
be.
charged with a felony.
I know,
I
right?
believe that.
I know, right? I have like 9 felonies trying to get back in the United States.
Why'd you leave without your passport, sir?
No habla.
That's brilliant.
Thank you.
Are you going to play the clip, Sasquatch?
Yeah.
Or can you?
I can. Yeah, I got it.
Don't make me entertain these people.
I haven't trimmed it up yet.
That's what she said.
Oh wait, did everyone hear Resto say that he likes wood? Because he said
The
that.
South, I'm the most courteous individual you'll ever meet in public. Yes, sir. No, sir. Yes, ma'am. The whole 9 yards.
Look, I mean, let's be real. If I was, a lot of the popular types of dudes nowadays, I would send my wife to Sasquatch to get fucked. Like, be a gentleman. Now, I'm on Adam 22 or Andrew,
Hold on, I gotta
whatever. Yeah, just click it.
Don't you dare take this down for the next 20 seconds. I'll be right back.
I feel like
what are you gonna do about that?
I'm not sure what you can do.
I'm not letting him 22, but I would let him fuck my wife. You know what I'm saying?
I'm fine with it. I mean, not in reality, but I mean, in terms
not in reality.
of that too,
bro. You're not doing yourself a service here.
I know. You're supposed to do my wife a service. The fuck?
I'll service whatever I need to, but listen, that's just talking, bro. I mean, apparently I'm already supposed to hit up your wife twice. Are you married, sir?
Sasquatch, we're gonna be Eskimo buddies or however it go.
I'm good with it, dude. Just no eye contact. Don't be like that.
I'm never looking in the camera again.
The wood shop's always open for business.
I don't know where I am right now.
A gay place. A cucky.
Very, very gay place.
Sasquatch, me and your boy Flo started to get into it last night on Restless.
I heard that. I was there for that.
Yeah, it's tough. I want to get Flo sometime on a one-on-one because
you guys are never going to be friends again if you do that. You know that, right?
Either way, I'm just saying that I don't think we disalign with a ton of things, but in some places we definitely disalign. And he made this point after I spoke, and I said to him, I was like, were you countering me? Did you agree with me? I don't really get what you were saying. And he seemed stumped. He seemed, we need to get it on. Sasquatch, can you make this happen?
Hey, I invited him to come over and try. He said he would try my barbecue. I invited him to the block party, and he no-showed.
You invited
There was a point last night where it's like he didn't want to address the actual question you were asking him, and it's like he was skipping.
First of all, I don't
He
tell
was
Flesh
skipping-
State to do shit. There ain't a damn thing I can get him to do. It took me
But he was
almost a
skipping
year.
past what Based was questioning him on.
It took me almost a year to get him to do a short. So I can't say I can do anything except
If you lived in the same city as me and I was like, bro, there's going to be brisket, cheese and potatoes, pulled pork. Like, you want to come make a plate, take a plate?
are you inviting me to a white barbecue, sir?
Yeah.
Depends on whether my black friends are barbecuing that day.
Well, now I've brought this up before to Barricade Garage. I was like, there's a difference between white barbecue and black barbecue. And he was like, what the fuck? And I was like,
the biggest issue
especially in
was
Kansas City.
you don't have tits. If you had tits, I think he would have showed up. Yeah.
I mean, I'm working on a solid B cup just in case I visit him.
Well, hey, my neighbor who grew up in Kansas City, who isn't white, was like, "This is some of the best barbecue I've ever had in my life." And I mean, maybe he's being
but
nice.
did you have tits? That's the thing.
No,
Okay,
I don't
well,
have titties.
I don't see how it's relevant.
Yeah,
well,
all the internet people and everything. You can't
what was the
expect
problem?
them to just come to the-
Well, I don't know if he's just being nice or kind,
you
but
talking
we've
about with
also
Flo?
Yeah.
No. I'm talking about with my neighbor. Oh, well, with Flo, yeah, I don't have titties. My wife has the titties.
Right.
Well,
You know?
you hear what I just said to Sasquatch, so
That's not really comparable.
yeah, we were getting into what was Restless thing, the homeless, and they were asking me the reason. I thought I just hopped on, and I talked a bit, and involved was the word greed. In part, I'm not saying that was the only reason, but in part, greed would be part of the rationale, the reason for a bigger discrepancy now than ever, as far as I know. And he seemed to jump on that it wasn't greed, but we couldn't get into it because the panel, there was like 8 people there.
I got
But it seems like we could have gotten into it. We might have had a sword fight in a gay way.
Greed definitely seems like the underlying issue, because if you talk about them being on drugs, that also has to deal with greed.
But the big issue is a discrepancy, a difference in opinion on the root cause of homelessness being economic versus mental or drug related.
I'm not sure what their argument was. I just hopped in, but my argument in terms of greed didn't so much have to do with capitalism. I'm not against capitalism, but it had to do with, for instance, somebody brought up monopoly. There's quite a few monopolies that exist within the U.S. and the world that aren't classified as monopolies. They're sort of subversive or quasi-monopolies. And as far as I'm concerned, that's a matter of greed. That's a matter of lawyer ease, getting around the monopoly law. And that has had a huge impact. It's not like a little impact, right? Amazon, for instance, is one example. Offshooting a few billion with a B, $1 billion. U.S. government, I mean, our federal government, misplacing $2 trillion after 9/11, or during, rather. So I'm just talking about that in terms of greed. I mean, there's many other things, I'm sure. But anyways, it seemed like him and I were going to get into it, but we never actually got into it. But I would like to get into it. I mean, I would get into it.
I'm totally down. Especially on the off chance that somebody has some data behind it, some references and whatnot. I'd love to run some of that. That's kind of the whole concept behind what I do with StreamYard is various presentation formats and whatnot. And this is one of them that I would generally bring in as something I call the problem, right? Where somebody brings up a very particular point, not a vagary, not, this is the problem, homelessness, right?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
then we do 20 minutes on why there is homelessness, 20 minutes on what it means. Well, the first 10 minutes on what it means to be homeless, go through the stages to kind of explain everything and then hold the debate. And I'm not going to be a big dork because you can't donate to me. So, what the fuck ever.
Well, look, if you want to hold it and you volunteer, which you just did, just like my imaginary ex-wife to be, I'm down. I think it'd be a good conversation can get into it. And the reason I say that is I've never known Flo to be, maybe I'm wrong, but I've never seen him as a dirty debater or disingenuous. And I can't say that same thing about anyone in the debate sphere, which is why I'm not really interested in it.
Yeah, I can't say that about Flo either. I mean, that's one thing I've really enjoyed about him.
Okay, so I want to draw a line on that. If Flo has reached a point where he no longer wants to have this conversation anymore, he will digress off onto more and more childish tangents, right? Because he doesn't want to talk about it anymore, and he's trying to get the conversation to move on without having to be an asshole and force it.
Yeah.
But people just don't want to take the hint, and so usually he'll just end the stream at that point. He'll play with his lips for a minute, and then he'll stare off into space, pick his nose for a minute, and after that he's done.
I feel like you've brought this up with CJ before, Sasquatch, which is, he definitely has an agenda, and you said he likes to talk shit and wants to get paid for it for a living. So if you're trying to be serious with him and he's not in the mood to be serious, that deviates from that root cause of what the channel was about, doesn't it?
But you can't always be the same. You can't produce 100 all all the time. That's
you gotta be flexible.
Viewed his channel as being something.
He does yoga
anyway. Like, I don't know. His channel's been more about spurring conversation. It seems like about random topics and drama versus debating something. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I'm hip.
Well, I'm just saying, Sasquatch, I could reach out to him. I just haven't. But I'm just saying, in my mind, that it seems like it could be a good, genuine debate.
Have you ever come across the documentary? I think it's called Homeless Inc.
Y'all are about to get banned. You know that, right?
Who that?
NVD and all these fucking trolls. Nothing. They're just from this cult group that I used to be in.
Oh,
I like cults. They're fun.
Yeah, it's definitely.
We can talk some shit about them. Like, they don't have the mic. Like, fuck them.
Yeah, they could come up here.
Yeah, exactly. Let them come up and see what happens.
You gotta drop the link. So it's a date. Is it a date with you and my wife to be? Me and Flo.
I'm down with both of those because and I swing both of those. This is gonna be
like, I'm down. I clipped it. I'm down.
Look, this is gonna be a hell of a threesome for her, so you might want to get the camera for this one.
Be in the Sneeko chair. Okay.
Right, that one. You know why there's one chair in the freaking hotel room? You know.
I do now. Sneeko. Apparently. I never even thought about some shit like that. You imagine, like, telling your girl or wife, whatever, like, hey, do you want to fuck some dude? And then we'll put it on camera, and then I'll talk about it on live stream. Like, what the fuck? How many gay dominoes had to fall for that shit?
Facts, dude.
Good God.
At least one more.
That's a whole conglomerate of gay dominoes right there. Like,
absolutely. That's just wild, dude.
Hey, Sasquatch, now that you're here, now that you just appeared, you were talking the other night, I think, about OBS. I think you mentioned it. And I'm using that exclusively, well, pretty much now.
Yep, OBS.
Yeah. and I like it overall. It's
I'm out a
free.
little wrong.
No. I meant it very right. In terms of a lot of dudes are kind of cucks, like they have a cuck mentality. So Sasquatch, a gentleman, right? If you were going to send your woman to somebody, why not Sasquatch? I mean, I wouldn't do it. I've never been that way, but I'm just saying, if you were,
sending my woman to
if you
anyone.
were, no, I'm just saying, if you were, a lot of.
That's all you, bro. That's all you. I don't know what to tell you.
It's good. It's good.
You know, I started this whole thing back when Resla came on. We were it was the night before I did his show. I think maybe 2 nights before. I was still on vacation, and I was a half pint in, maybe more, right? And we were live. This was not a backstage thing. I did not clip this from backstage. I want to be perfectly clear on that.
I would have to pump it up.
I'm a nasty nigga. I'm a
Just, can I clip this? And so, like, it's become a little bit of a tradition to try to find some receipts somewhere.
You know, I've been good about that. I haven't clipped in a while. I've been.
Sasquatch, are you a content farmer, Sasquatch?
I'm content, bro.
Yeah, but I mean, do you farm content just to look when people mess up and slip up? And...
many farmers, many of them farm.
So that's where that troll mentality went, huh? You just put it off onto your minions.
Well, no, I'm not trolling anybody.
You're not. I know.
I mean, that was kind of trolling Resla just a little bit right there, wasn't it? Like,
look, no, we were live on his panel. We were having a conversation. We were talking about how clips work and yada yada yada. And while we were talking about it, he did that, and I said, "I'll show you," because I'm gonna clip that. Because
okay,
let me just say
that's
this.
the proof in the pudding right there.
Look, anyone could clip anyone. If you put out enough content, I just mean, like, I have hundreds, maybe thousands of hours of content on YouTube. You could make me seem super gay, super this, super that. Clip that shit.
You do anything, sir. You do a good job by yourself.
Clip that shit. Now, you really could, though. You could make anyone look any way, especially super cutting. Let alone just out of context. That's one thing, but super cutting another. Like, you could string together all sorts of gay shit.
I could make Brick look smart.
You could make.
You think
that's
a challenge?
No, I don't want to look through enough of his shit to do it. Really
Sasquatch. He was trying to say he can do the impossible.
Basically, that's what I was saying. I could lasso the sun.
Yeah, I mean, it's true. So I don't mind. Like, look, I've been seeing for months. I don't even look at this point, but people clip, or were at least. I haven't looked, but months ago, random people, like even 300 like clip. And I never looked to see where it went. I don't care. Like, it doesn't matter. It's
Here's
whatever.
the thing that really trips me out. Before I was a YouTuber, I was a troll, right? And so one of the things I offer to guests is the ability to call a troll, an old school message forum troll that only stopped doing trolling when I started my channel, because you cannot mix the two, right? So kind of like CJ says, rather than doing the trolling now, I kind of run these sort of backstage anti-trolling classes on how not to be subject to that shit. There are ways. The problem is most people aren't patient enough for them ways to work. You gotta not care, bro. You got to be colder than cold.
You absolutely have to. The thing that hurt me the most is when a dude that I had met in real life put out a video slandering me, like knowingly slandering me and just doing it for views.
Bro, I got stabbed. What do you mean?
It actually, yeah, but like I expected it from trolls and shit, but it was like, this is a dude I had worked with and shit, and like I still don't know how to take it. I still don't look at him the same
Hey,
way.
look, if
CJ,
they-
you can't tell.
Don't
You
take
can't.
it.
You can't tell stupid people they're stupid, and you probably told that guy he was stupid in a roundabout way.
Well, you can
You know?
tell them.
yeah,
Just-
you just
Well,
have to
you
put
can.
that over
They're not
the-
gonna know or
I
understand, though.
do. I definitely do.
Yeah. I'll let people talk them ways into the stupid corner and realize where they're standing.
Yeah. I was just saying, you definitely have to not give a shit about people making clips, or you couldn't.
Yes, yeah, when you come into the YouTube sphere, I strongly advise you to decide not to be offended.
Yeah.
Just don't be offended. That's why.
Yeah,
And
but that's hard. How do you do that?
you make a decision.
Well, that's why I brought up the
Well,
incident
you
with
have-
me and the other guys, because even though I know that, it still hurts.
Well, no. I mean, I
Well,
agree
what I'm
with
saying-
Sasquatch. I'm just saying, how is that actionable? That's like saying be
The
more
actionable
confident.
part
Like, you know what I
is-
mean? It doesn't.
I've got an
is
answer to that question.
Practicing not reacting. Whenever somebody hits something that triggers you, you have to make it the habit to not respond. You
So
can't
to pause.
Pause. Yes, sir.
Okay.
Take a deep breath. The other thing you do is like in YouTube, it's almost like a in this case, a 3 or 4 way conversation. But are you familiar with Thunderdome? 2 men enter, 1 man leave.
You're talking about
Type of
Mad
thing?
Max. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so you know who Master Blaster is? You just go through life as Blaster, not Master, and you're never gonna get butthurt.
Okay, you don't have
Blazer?
to. No, you don't have to blast everybody. If you blast everybody, that shit will splash back on you.
No, and I'm not saying blast everyone. I'm saying just take it like the happy retard he was. Is. It doesn't matter what you said to him; it's not going to affect him.
So I agree with you. I mean, Sasquatch, you're talking about take a step back, don't react, this type of shit.
Okay.
I'm just saying, somebody in the moment, if you
Yes.
say that, it doesn't work. You know what I mean?
I'm going to name drop. I don't generally do this, but this
Name drop.
This is a very specific encounter that I had with someone, and it's been about 6 months now, and she's just kind of come around to my way of thinking, but doesn't want to admit it yet. Right? What's up, Cynthia? If you can get in under her skin, you can drive her channel straight into the ground or give it a bajillion views simply by telling her things she doesn't want to hear. She will block you, right? But if you can hit that little edgeling point where she's almost triggered but not quite, you can warp her live streams into being about whatever you want them to be about, and it's not terribly difficult. I tell her, or at least she used to, have this ring in her nose, right? Anybody that wanted to come along and pull on her string and drive her wherever you want her to go. Now, she has developed an awful lot in the past few months, although she still has this almost like a monkey with their hand through the hole with a handful of fruit, and they won't let go of the fruit, and so they're trapped. She has gotten a little bit of she's gotten enjoyment out of the panelverse, and she's trying to figure out how to make that also profitable. But she doesn't realize the level of animosity and just ass hattery she's going to have to deal with to reach that level of production, right? I wish her all the best. I mean, but you've got to learn to work with people, and you have to be able to take criticism. I mean, it'll be easier overall.
Does this sound familiar, CJ, with somebody else we know? What's that Sasquatch was talking about?
About leading her around?
Yeah, leading her around by the nose. And
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, a couple different people, actually.
Yeah.
I'll be right back.
Yeah, I don't really want to speak on it, but
why?
I'm so tired of that whole thing. I mean, look at these retards. You weren't even part of that community. You have 3 retards in here following you around, calling you names.
Yep. And guess what? Like
You weren't
they
even
will.
a part of the community.
Yeah, I wasn't. And then me asking questions, pointing
Well,
out.
that's exactly why I don't even want to talk about it, because they're a bunch of fucking idiots.
Well, I don't disagree with you. You know what I'm saying?
And just to be honest, like giving them any type of attention almost feeds into what they want.
It definitely does feed the fire, but also when they're saying stupid bullshit about you, it's like, fuck you. Like you come and get it. Come at me. Like I don't give a fuck.
That's
you know? And if you want to be a dumb retard about it on top of it, like all you're doing is showing your fucking ass. And I'm okay with it. You know what I mean? It's so easy to troll any community.
Well, I could have easily been like a hoax wars and like devoted my entire life to taking that dude down. I didn't do that because that's gay. You know what I mean? Like all he does is fucking follow another dude and talk shit about. Like, yeah, clearly the dude sucks. Clearly all that shit.
Oh, you missed his Christmas live stream.
Life about it.
His Christmas live stream was amazing. Like there at the end, all he did was get his dick kicked in for hours on end, and that was pretty amazing. Because,
sorry, Dave, you probably don't even know what we're talking about. I just appreciate you being here, bro. You're a welcome surprise.
Hey, you know, I was surprised to myself. Happened to see your stream, and I was like, let me hop on.
Did you see me screaming at Lady Luck, or did you just see my stream?
No.
Yeah, okay.
I didn't see you screaming.
I've been hanging out with Resto's people.
Oh, okay.
I'm really getting to the point where I really don't feel like being on here now, though.
You mean YouTube? I'm gonna go to sleep, probably. Yeah, pretty late. I was just hopping around a little bit recently and, you know, just saying hello.
Where'd you go? I noticed you disappeared for a minute.
Yeah, had to, I mean, to be point blank, right? Had to kind of get into my own space a bit more and out of other people's. It's different, right? Whatever panel you on, it can be a very different dynamic and rules and whatever. And as it is, I generally get kicked off a bit. I mean, the amount of panels I've been kicked off of is kind of wild.
Well, what CJ and I had talked about is having a Friday night hangout stream with like working class dudes that, you know, work with their hands. We can drink beers and just
He's
be
not
ourselves.
talking about you. He's not talking about you, right?
Well, I don't know what you do for a living. You know what I mean?
I've seen your food. You're not working class.
I'm working class.
Yeah.
Have you seen the plate? No.
I would say he's more than welcome to come on the Friday streams, is he not?
Oh, he's more than
It's
welcome.
Friday.
That's not what I'm saying.
Yeah, it's Friday, and
I
we're
just-
having a stream, and
I'm one of the bros.
Can you whittle wood? That should
Yeah.
be the basic. Okay, then you're.
I would like to whittle some wood, not in a, you know, just you know, camping shit. Yeah.
Yeah,
It's good.
yeah, exactly. Like
He got the wood, bro.
I saw that Tom Hanks, right? He had the wood. He had to start the fire. It was crazy. He barely did it, but he
had
got
the
it done.
volleyball.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Wilson.
Yeah, Wilson.
Tough times.
So when you were gone, we were talking about you just a little bit, and because we were like, "Where did he go?" And you're ex-military.
Yeah. I was.
Okay.
Yeah, allegedly, I was in the Marine Corps.
Nice. What did you do in the Marine Corps?
Infantry.
Okay.
Yeah, I ate crayons, mortarmen in particular.
Yeah, blew shit up and shot things. You could probably start a fire with a couple sticks, I would think.
I did a survival training up in the mountains of California, Bridgeport. It was interesting. We chopped off a goat's head and we and then we cooked it. We had a goat stew. It was a little bit tough. And then we had to cross river that was like, it was cold as fuck. I think they said it was like 38. But that shit felt like ice. Like 38 or whatever it was. It was fucking freezing. When I got out of it, we had to like swim across back and forth. It was like a few minutes, like 5-10 minutes. But when I got out, I thought I was having a heart attack. Like that's how it felt getting out. I was just like, bro, no, I think I'm having a heart attack. Like my heart is beating out of my chest type shit. But no, we've done some survival shit, but I'm not like a Navy SEAL expert. I don't know.
But did they put you on those type of excursions and still just give you MREs? They don't give you real food to eat.
Well, I mean, look. Speaking of,
if you're putting your body through that much stress, you would at least have animal fat.
Well, it's interesting. The food in general is terrible. The MREs are trash, but it's calories. It's food product.
Right.
And it's garbage. But, even what I was just saying, like Bridgeport, like that 30-day training evolution, we went days without food, not just like chilling in the, barracks, whatever. Like, I mean, on the fucking mountain. Like, we did an 8-hour hike, and we didn't have food or water, which is crazy, like, thinking about it. And a couple of my boys they were tough. Like, a couple of my boys, they're tough. I mean, they're tougher than me in some ways, I guess, but they passed the fuck out. Like, I don't mean everyone, but I just mean, like, dudes were falling out, getting medevaced off. Like, it is dangerous, man. It's not like a joke.
It almost seems from an outsider's perspective that's kind of the goal. Almost. It's see how many people pass out and see how many people keep going regardless of it.
Well, that's a good point that you bring up. I'm not saying that was or wasn't, but there's definitely a weeding out process or processes that happen. And then there's the other side of weeding out, which is like strength building. Like, we want you here, but we want you tougher. So what event or times were either, you know what I mean? I don't know, but yeah, definitely to your point, at times it seemed like weeding out, you know what I mean? And at times it was like, we want to toughen you the fuck up. Whether or not it was right or wrong in reality, like if we're training real hard, to your point, we should have real food, good food, like real macros, like animal meat, whatever. And we either don't have food or it's some garbage. And that place in particular, I remember seeing the box of MREs. It was like 10 or 15 years old. It was like a whole different, like it looked different. You know what I mean? Like this food was made 15 years ago. Yeah, no, it's poison and shit.
Yeah,
you shit your brains out after.
You don't
it still has a 10-year shelf life, right?
No, it does. It technically, I think it was 20 or 25. I might be off, but I think it was up there.
They're pushing on you that you're the best and the brightest, which is why we need you to be stronger, yet they're feeding you 15-year-old.
Yeah, and I mean, to that point, even if we were in like a food mess area, like on base where they have like a cafeteria, even that food, it was like, probably better than most people eat. You could have eaten, but it's not even as good as I can eat on a minimal budget. I'm just saying, like, for $300 a month, let's just say, in America today, even with inflation, with everything, you could definitely eat better than you typically would eat even in the mess halls in the Marine Corps. So anyways, long story short, the point is it should be much better food energy for what you're going to do than it is. So in a sense, it's counterproductive. And then you go back to your question, your point, which is is this weeding out versus is this to strength train? And I don't know the answer. It depends.
It's both
But
at the same time. Is the answer,
yeah,
right?
at times, yeah.
It's
I would
both.
think that it's both, but also in like combat situations, you're probably not going to have a mess hall, and you don't know how long you're not going to have a mess hall. And
Exactly.
the other point of it would be who are the team builders in this situation, who can get everyone to function as a group and achieve the goals.
Right. Well, I'm always looking at like what is the end goal of something. That's kind of what I do.
It was,
and I can't figure out the end goal of that. Like,
it's sort of surviving versus thriving. Like, you're not going to thrive on Marine Corps food. Like, it's not thrive worthy, right? It's very ultra processed garbage, but it has calories. Like, it will give you energy. So you won't thrive on it, but you can survive on it.
So if you get used to being strong on that level of nutrition, you can do it on better nutrition or something?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Like the infantry, right? I was in the infantry, but in particular weapons company mortars. But we were the skinniest, weakest looking Marines that existed. All the dudes that were sitting at a desk, all the admin, all the guys doing lesser shit, not in the field, not, doing this shit. They ate and worked out and whatever you want to call it. They did it much better. So the point is, counterintuitively, the infantry looked the weakest. You know what I mean? Like if you had a side by side, they looked like the skinny, malnourished dudes compared to the dudes that didn't. Yeah, the big dudes, they were the dudes in the back. They were the dudes that didn't have to do that field shit. Weren't fasting for 3 days because we didn't have food.
More power to you, dude. I don't know that I could have done it.
Well, yeah, I mean, look, I didn't know that I could either. I just hopped in.
I would have tried if they would have let me in, but I don't know that I could have done it.
Yeah, well, I had to lie if that makes you feel better.
I already had a DUI whenever I applied, so.
Yeah, pretty much you can't get into the Marine Corps, or at least you couldn't, if you were honest. If you were honest, you're not making it in.
Nobody told me about that either. Nobody told me to lie. So.
No, my recruiter, they like car salesmen, like used car salesmen, like they were fucking ratchet. But my recruiter, he told me to lie about all sorts of shit. Like I was honest with him. I'd be like, hey, he was like, when's the last time you smoked weed? And I was like, today. You know what I mean? Like, I didn't lie. And he's like, all right, we're just going to lie and you're going to take this drink and whatever the case.
Oh, they set up the... Wow.
Yeah. And check it out. I still failed the piss test. And
So
because of that, I lost $5,000, which, today it doesn't matter, but back then I was like, fuck, I did what he told me. You're recruiter, and now I lost $5,000.
They must have not wanted me. Nobody told me to lie.
When did you try to get in? Or
I was like 19. I mean, it couldn't have been. I was graduated in 05, so I'd have been 18. So it'd have been 2006, I guess.
Oh shit. Okay. Yeah, I got in 08. But I would have thought your time would be good. Maybe it was your recruiter, your
like
area.
I already had a DUI, and I told him that right out the gate. So maybe that just fixed me right out the gate.
Yeah, probably alcohol, because like they know Marines gonna get DUIs. I didn't, but I'm just saying I could have. But they will, like, it's just bound to happen.
Yeah.
So they might have been like, oh, you already have one. Like, fuck that. Like that might have been the line. I don't know.
I caught my recruiter lying to me and my family at dinner, and on his third visit, and I was just like, I was trying to join the reserves to pay for college.
I'm just always like, I've always been one of these physical challenge type people. Like, I feel like if I was younger, I'm not going to do it now, but like, if you present me with some type of physical challenge and you're not like 2 foot taller than me, then I will try to compete with you at it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, but now I'm kind of past that point, but I would have then for sure.
Hey,
sorry.
Go on.
No, you go
I
on.
was going to say, because I saw there was something in the chat, which was a Sasquatch message saying he's going to the store. It kicked me out of the stream, and then I popped back in, and I was able to see all the haters in the chat, and Hoax and Coco are live now, and they've been talking shit. So it's like, apparently it's working. Like, fuck you. These dudes are racist pieces of shit. Fuck them all. You know?
And I don't even have anything against people saying the N-word as a white person. But I'm going to say N-word here out of respect for all parties that may be listening. You know what I'm saying? Like,
I think it's just kind of a dumb thing to do on a...
The platform doesn't like it. There's no reason.
It's a dumb thing to do on a panel stream if you're a white person. And, like, what's the point of it? You know what I mean? It's just a weird flex, if you ask me.
Owen's whole thing was like, I've said nigger to black gang members or whatever. And you know what I'm saying? Like, that was part of his spiel.
But that's not true. He's never said that to any black gang member.
I know. He's a fucking liar. I know that.
Yeah, exactly. Otherwise, he would have been punched in the face.
But
so anyway, with that, I'll bounce out. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So haters gonna hate, and maybe I'll go wreck their stream.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
running out of steam, to be honest with you. So if base doesn't keep this going, I don't know what's going to happen here.
Yeah, we'll go over there and wreck their shit. Fuck them.
I don't even know who they are.
Just talk. We'll start talking about snozberries.
It's not something you probably want to get involved in, to be honest.
It's some weird fucking culty shit that, you know,
I'm
these
lucky
dudes.
I escaped.
Yes, you are.
weird culty shit. So it's a religion or politics or sports or
No, it's just this guy that thinks he's a comedian that used to be a comedian and used his Hollywood clout to steal a bunch of money from a bunch of poor people during COVID. Because he had like Hollywood clout that was still hanging around. But you wouldn't even know who he is if I mentioned him. So it's fine.
Then he kicked out a bunch of people that asked questions, and now those people that have been scorned by Dear Leader have started their own little cult.
There's a bunch of people that have made it their life goal to take him down, and I'm not really one of them, but I do like laughing about it.
But they're not doing anything in the real world to take him down. All they do is spin their wheels in the mud and talk shit. That's all they do.
And GS happened to have teamed up with them recently, which I find very interesting.
Oh, GS.
Yeah,
I forgot.
I don't know. Hoax doesn't like GS either. I don't know what the fuck the deal is with GS, but nobody seems to like this guy. Even the cult people don't like this guy. Like, so I don't know. I don't know.
He's a cop, bro. That's why.
He might
yeah, I mean, that's the easiest answer. He's a cop.
I don't know, dude. I don't know. I told him to come see me if he was ever in North Carolina again, but he's always been really decent any stream I've been on, but everybody seems to hate him, so I don't know.
I think GS can be very reasonable, and then he can be very emotional, like unhinged in a sense. And that's when he gets the drama, that's when he gets the pull. So it's bad, but it's good. Like, he'll get a good response in terms of attention. But it's bad to his actual points, or you know what he's.
Well, say that he was on Mel's or whatever, like happened the other day, and Izzy came.
He was on Mel's. GS was on Mel's. No.
Yeah, he was on Mel's, and Izzy. Yeah, Izzy came on, and it was a whole thing. Anytime Izzy shows up around GS, it becomes a thing for like 2 or 3 days. It seems like.
Yeah.
But like. What was my point with saying that? Fuck, I derailed my own train of thought.
Yeah, I ended up banning her. She got publicly banned.
Oh
She
yeah,
was a member. But I told her she had to relinquish her member because I don't know how to ban a member, but yeah.
I think Resto's grooming her right now. I mean, whatever you want to call that.
Oh, okay.
I mean, not for sexual purposes. I just mean for like dominance on the internet purposes.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, it seems like she got a hard on. Period.
Yeah.
No pause.
I don't know.
She got a hard on.
I don't want to speak too much about these people. I like chatting with them and shit. So I don't know.
Yeah, I'm just saying what I've already said publicly. I don't have an issue with either of them or any of them. Like, I don't care. Like, I don't care if they have a great life. I don't care if they have 1 million subscribers. I don't care if they die tomorrow. I just don't care.
Well, I would really like to know that nobody has been able to pinpoint to me what GS did to Izzy or what Izzy did to GS to make them hate each other. And now that GS is popping up on this thing that I used to be a part of, I'm wanting to know even more why they hate each other.
Yeah, I never even... Yeah, I didn't find out completely, but, you know, it was like GS always talking about his service. You know, like he'll introduce and be like, oh, I was, I don't even know what he was. But anyways, and then she was like, you didn't do what you said you did. I was an Iraqi and I had it worse and I shot my way out of Iraq type of shit. And then he's like, fuck you, you're a subversive, and I don't like your people. I mean, it got like racist or whatever.
Oh,
and
okay.
that was about it. I don't know. Like, it's not even drama. It's just dumb. The whole thing.
So
dumb.
is something like that where it's like, you shouldn't be here anyway, you fucking Iraqi? Is something like that?
Yeah, I mean, I guess it seemed like that.
I said it. I'm just, anyway.
Yeah.
All right.
But that's it. It's just, you know.
Well, that makes
like
more
each
sense
other.
than anything I've heard. So.
Well, also, I mean, just from the outside, she kind of a man and he kind of a woman, so they're kind of like reverse role playing. I don't know. It's weird.
Yeah, I can see that. He's like gonna show her who the man is, and she's like, "All right, bitch."
Yeah. That's kind of it. Yeah, it's
that's
weird,
definitely
but
what's going
true.
on with them. Yeah, I hear you. All right, so we lost everybody, dude. Where do I get one of those hoodies?
Yeah, I don't know. It was a gift that keeps on giving. You know?
Oh yeah.
It's funny. Some dude in traffic the other day, he stopped his car. I mean, this is probably a month ago, but he stopped at a green light to ask me where I got my hoodie. I was like, what? Like, what?
Well, I've always wanted a white camo one. I mean, you got the black camo. I was wanting a white camo, like the white with the, I guess it's gray stripes.
You know, it's hard to find a good camo.
It's like a snow
period.
camo.
Yeah, like Mark Wahlberg camo, like shooter camo, maybe.
Yeah, like a white camo. I've always liked white camo. I don't know why.
Yeah, I'm kind of picky about my camo. I've had like 20 different camo soled sneakers. You know, like the sole is camo, but not the sneaker. But like you can kind of see it's on the sole. And what I realized is camo, like you can get good camo, you could get bad camo. And it's hard to find good camo, like a good design, like a design that you're like, yeah, this the right camo. It could take hours.
As far as effectiveness, what do you think about the splotches like you have? I'm just asking because you're a military guy.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Look,
I'm not
when
talking about fashion.
No, I know.
As far as hiding yourself, digital
I get it.
versus splotches.
So, yeah, and I lived through, well, I kind of lived through both, because when I first got in, it was changing over to the, like, digi, you know, like the digital shit. So, you know, with that, I don't know which is better. Look, when we went into the field, when we went into the jungle, like we were in Thailand, Australia, in the fucking jungle, and we'd camo up with face paint, and we looked like tards. No, I'm telling you, it didn't look cool. It didn't look like the movies. We just looked like, you know what I mean? It was just like
You just had
all
lines
over.
just everywhere.
Yeah. So I don't even know that was effective, and like you trying to see because you got camo in your eye. I don't even know if it was that
I know.
effective.
Asians were over there like, white man there.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry, I thought that was funny. I thought I was
And
funny.
the animals
White
were.
man in bushes.
We get found by snakes.
Oh.
I remember we pulled up on a cobra in I think it was a baby cobra, but in
yeah.
Thailand. I don't know how many rattlesnakes. Like, I never had to chop one's head off, but my buddy, like, I never got pulled up on, but like my buddies, we went into the field one day. In 1 hour, there was 4 dead rattlesnakes in an hour, and there was only like 25 of us. It wasn't like a million, right? There's like 25 of us, and there's mad dead rattles. They kept chopping their heads off with e-tools, because what are you gonna do? You're not gonna try to get bit or be like, go away, snake. You had to kill
I
them.
feel like I could deal with the snake, but if I see one of them camo spiders, I might run through some bullets, dude. Like, I'm not hanging out with that camo spider shit, bro.
Oh, Sasquatch back. He say back.
Not at all, dude. I mean, I don't know. Maybe I would try to kill it, but that seems way scarier than a fucking snake.
Yeah, I mean, black widows.
Good snake story.
No, I'm used to
Brown
black widows.
recluse.
Wow.
All right. Let's dick measure Sasquatch to see if you fuck my wife or not. You go first.
It happened to me.
Shit, it's like that.
I saw it with mine own eyes.
Well, I'm gonna smoke while you guys do this dick measuring contest here.
All right. So, I grew up out in the swamp. I might have mentioned.
Yeah.
And
well, it was implied either way.
I got a couple of neighbors out there, and one of them was a guy that was about 9 months older than me. And we didn't get along, as you can imagine, being neighbors in the middle of nowhere, and pretty much the only person to play with in 20 freaking miles. We probably not going to get along, right? Well, we didn't get along very well until we became something more of an adult. Around 18, 19, we started hanging out, but we were always friends. Okay. So when I was 17, I reckon, 16, we were going back to some particular locations back in the deep swamp, which is the kind of thing that you don't really do on a lark. You kind of plan that stuff out. You're talking 6 hours of walking and maybe a couple hours paddling too. So this is an overnighter. And we get about 3 hours into this hike, and homie is walking down the freaking little trail, and the grass has gotten a little high on both sides. And he draws his pistol and shoots the ground almost at his feet, and then screams. And I thought he'd shot himself. What had actually happened is he had blown the head off of a rattlesnake whose body had struck him anyway.
Body? How'd the body, it just like hit him?
It was already striking. When he pulled the trigger,
yeah,
the body struck. There just wasn't a head attached when it hit. So after, having a minor heart attack and freaking out, he finally got his shit together, and we went on about what we were doing. And 2 years later, we're riding along in the truck. He looks over at me and goes, "Hey, man, you want to see something fucked up?" I was like, "What's that?" And he lifted up his leg, lifted up his pant leg to the shin where that thing had hit him. And he had an ulcer big around as a quarter that went all the way down to the bone. And I was like, "Holy shit, dude, what is that?" He's like, "That is where that snake struck me. A piece of his bone got embedded in my bone. And they say it won't stop doing this until that piece of bone comes out."
What?
And I was like, "Dude, that was years ago." And he goes, "Yeah." He's like, it'll heal up for a while, but then he'll bump his leg or whatever, and it would suddenly go inflamed again, and they'd have to scrape it all off.
So did he bleed at the time?
Maybe. I don't know. I didn't check. He didn't get struck by a snake. That was the landscape. Like, he was a dead man. We were miles away from anything resembling help, you know.
Yeah.
And so he might have lived. I mean, a rattlesnake's not necessarily a death sentence, but that far out it can't be.
Yeah, no, you're right. I mean, from what I understand, that's totally
Well, Sasquatch, let me ask you this, because I learned this from a guy that worked at Owens Corning for his whole life, basically, like 20 years or whatever, is that if you pick up concrete blocks or anything heavy, and there's a lot of black widows around this area, that the black widows can't bite you if your fingers, like if you have tension on your fingertips, they can't bite through the skin.
Okay.
The skin
Sounds like some shit they tell you to make you go pick up those blocks regardless.
So that ain't real, because that worked on me.
No.
Talk about getting. I used to be terrified of spiders till I crawled around with them long enough under houses and shit, dude. And that concrete block thing stuck in my head. Like,
what's more likely is when you work with concrete, you get these mega calluses on your hands.
Yeah.
And it's possible they can't bite through the freaking callus that builds up.
Oh, so it's the callus.
You remember when you were doing concrete, you had hands made of wood.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
To be honest, my hands are still kind of little artisty hands, even though I have calluses and shit. But, like, yeah, your calluses do get really thick when you do that kind of work. I can see that being the reality.
The worst calluses I ever got was working at a pipe plant in this shit podunk town over here. Has half a horse. And the reason is the pipe comes off the line at around 140 degrees. And in order to lead it up onto the coil the way you're supposed to, it almost always requires one hand to be on that pipe. No matter what gloves you use, those gloves will heat up to 140 degrees and slow cook your skin into something resembling wood.
Nah, see, I ain't built for that shit, dude. I gotta get paid to do some shit like that. Like, you gotta pay me to do some shit.
I got paid, bro. I got paid after that first little 6-month stint out there, and when I went back and reapplied, and they tried to hire me.
Like these dudes that get sucked into these wood chippers, if I'm gonna have the risk of getting sucked into some shit like that, you better be paying me.
We had a re-grinder in that plant called the Widowmaker.
I mean, think about this though. I got in 08,
about as much of my life as I risk.
You were trying to get in like 06, right? Same time frame.
I would have.
The first year or so in the Marine Corps made like about on average like 900 a month, 1,000 a month. And granted, the rent was free, right? You lived in the barracks or whatever. And the food was kind of free. Like, if you were allowed to eat, you would eat. But a lot of dudes had to, or did at least, buy food because we couldn't eat a lot of times. So I'm just saying, 900 a month. And you want to talk about life risking. I mean, look, boot camp, you're not like going into combat. Yeah. But if you think dudes don't die there, dudes definitely die there. Dudes get fucked up. Dudes die.
I know how this works.
You seen what?
Starship Troopers. I know how this works.
Yeah. It's basically the same.
I love that movie.
But you know, like scout, sniper, indocs, whatever, recon. The point is, it's a bunch of dangerous shit that you're doing. I mean, I've seen plenty of fucked up shit where dudes didn't necessarily die. I mean, in instances I was next to them, they didn't die. Nobody died next to me in training. But I'm just saying, I was around plenty of dudes, enough, definitely, that died. I was getting chewed the fuck out one day by a higher up. And like a month later, it came back like him and his whole squad got schwacked. I mean, I'm just saying it's a lot of risk. I get your point, and you're not wrong. I'm just saying, like, you think that wasn't much money. I'm just saying.
Right here at 37, I'm probably just now mature enough to do some shit like that. Like, I wasn't built for that back then. Is really what I was getting.
My pops was an airborne ranger, and he taught
more than likely.
Me neither.
Straight from the Army field guide until I was 15 or 20, man. Like,
more than likely that's what they saw in me that they didn't want.
Mess around and be given a speed and then try to find you. You will find every pigeon trap, pitch trap, foot trap, trip trap, line trap, drop trap, swing trap. You
Yeah.
give me time to prepare and choose my ground, and you have made an error of judgment, sir. I will win. And about don't care how many people are in there after me because I won't be there when it happens. I'll be elsewhere preparing new ground.
I hear you.
I'm just saying you're right. It's just like it could always be worse, right? You could be making $200 a month, let's call it that, and watching your buddies get schwacked at that, like one by one, and at the same time could track back and be like, damn, the US government knew this shit would happen. They know my buddy was going to die, but they knew people were going to die during this, and it wasn't necessarily for a good reason. I would say in many terms for bad reasons at that. Like this had nothing to do with freedom, had nothing to do with your mom or dad or US citizens, like safety. It had to do with a few select people needed more oil and gold and poppy, and we all got breadcrumbs and went and did the
They
dirt.
say he didn't see a single apple pie the whole time.
Not one. If we did, we fucked it. I mean, respectfully.
Good choice.
Yeah.
Respectfully.
It was warm.
Yeah, so you get all the fucked up and none of the benefit. I get it.
Well, I mean, there's benefits, but the benefits are less tangible than cash dollar
I was
bills.
joking about fucking apple pies.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, to your point. Oh, go on, Sasquatch.
Well, I mean, for instance, Base is probably a much more organized and direct individual than he was before he joined.
Yeah.
Same thing for Raging Tomato. Could you imagine that ditzy blonde without any of her organization?
I can't believe she was in the military, to be honest. I mean, I don't know. Like, she seems like a stripper type girl, almost.
Ooh, I'm going to clip that.
I knew you were going. Fuck you. Anyways.
She's got that, like, patronizing, like, little girl voice that she does.
Okay.
No comment.
I've only ever heard that from strippers.
Don't you supercut this
That's
shit. I didn't say
from
shit, Sasquatch.
That's
You know
from
I didn't
trauma.
say shit. I
That's
didn't say
from
shit.
trauma. Okay.
You're fucking the moderator.
She's probably laughing because she knows I'm right now.
No comment.
I'm just scared. I'm scared to death of the little girl.
It's
boy.
still funny.
That's all I'm saying.
You're right, wrong. I don't give a damn. That shit's hilarious.
So let me go on record saying this. At least let me say some ratchet shit, I guess. I'm not with women in the military. I'm not with that whole shit. I'm not saying I would make it illegal or anything like that. If women really want to do it, and there's some that are better than men. I'll even say that. There's some female Marines or whatever the case that can do some shit that most of the men can't. But those are very rare. And in that case, I think cool. But for the majority of women in the military, what the fuck are you doing? What the motherfuck are you doing? Like, you must be dumb. You must, but you must be dumb. Like, oh, I want to go watch my buddy's brain get blown out. No, you don't. You're traumatized by The Bachelor and shit. What the fuck are you talking about? You definitely don't want to see that shit.
Savage.
Facts.
I mean, reality, but, whatever.
I mean, no offense, Sarah. I know you're going to see this. I still want to do my duet with you whenever you get ready to do that, whenever you grow up hair. So,
oh, man.
Yeah.
Dude, you like being abused by women?
I mean, that's how you get her attention, right? You gotta twist it.
I'm fine with it.
You gotta twist it.
I'll make sure I marry a wife that is down with that Sasquatch. Now that I know your preference, we good.
I don't give a damn.
All right, you're going to turn her out either way.
Threaten
All right,
me
cool.
with a good time. See what happens.
That's my line.
Bro, it's not my job to keep your wife out of my bed.
Dude, all that I can think of when I hear her name now is she said her ass is comparable to that video she plays with the girl with the horse. And,
So's mine.
Yeah, well, I'm not worried about your ass.
There's your problem, bud.
Well, I mean, clearly that's a lie. You know what I'm saying? Her ass.
I know.
I mean, maybe Base knows. Base, is her ass comparable?
No fucking comment. No comment.
Are you not fucking the moderator? Like, what?
I'm not fucking no one. I'm good. I'm good. I'm good. I'm an incel, gay, whatever the fuck. Yeah. No, I don't
yes,
fuck.
it is.
Flip that. He said he's gay. Flip it.
Yeah, but it was kind of mumbling. I was mumbling a little bit.
It's close enough. Good enough.
Yeah, I mean, it was good enough.
I can dub it if I have to. Don't mess with me, dude. I'm telling you.
Slide that one in right.
I ain't mess with you, Sasquatch. I mess with you. You won't find one hit piece of based on Sasquatch. It don't exist.
Oh,
Lord, what's going on over here?
I'm about ready to turn into somebody else's shit. I'm tired of being the entertainment.
Sounds gay as hell.
Yeah.
Whatever. I don't care.
You gonna tune them up? All right, it's been real, CJ.
Yeah, thank you guys for being here.
Sasquatch.
Yeah, but based, you got my email, right?
I guess. Did we email before?
I think so.
Maybe. I think, or did we Twitter? Right, we did something, but either way, I guess.
You're allowed on Twitter?
I'm on Twitter, I guess. I don't know, barely.
I'm there-ish.
I talked mad shit to Elon. I mean, you could argue he probably didn't see it, but I feel like his petty ass did.
I have ran my mouth since the beginning of the internet, so I'm pretty sure that's why.
He shadow banned me. That's why I'm not blown up. Elon.
Yeah. That's probably.
I've been on
That was it,
the list is. I've been on the list since the beginning.
It was all that. I took a stray shot and he shadow banned me.
Can I tell you how I got my Twitter account?
How you got it? You signed up, right?
So when I started my YouTube, I also started a Twitter, but I didn't get the name approved. They told me that it was waiting for approval. So for 6 months, it sits over there waiting for approval. 2 days after Elon Musk buys the company, it gets approved. So I just get an email one day saying your Twitter has been approved, yada yada yada. And my first tweet, because when you first sign up, you have to put that first tweet in, was post dated as being uploaded when I posted it, not when I was approved.
So what's the theory? That Elon did it?
I don't have a theory. I'm just saying whatever changes took place when he
built that up to nothing, didn't he?
Right.
Yeah.
But Twitter, no.
No, I thought there was going to be like a thing there that was coming.
No, I wasn't saying he did anything. I was just saying that whatever changes he did allowed Caucasian to go through as part of a name. Because that that was the hang up. You know that.
Okay. I got you.
But just the word Caucasian Sasquatch got you banned.
It was alt-right shit. I got you.
Yeah, that wasn't alt-right period, right?
You were racist.
I'm trying to play towards your narrative here. I don't know.
I don't have a narrative. I was just telling you a thing that happened to me.
It's a good narrative.
I mean,
I'm sorry.
You know what I'm saying.
Apology accepted. All right, Sasquatch. We'll talk. We should do that. We should do that little show debate.
I like the idea.
I think it'd be good. I'd be down either way.
You guys like to come on here on Friday?
Yeah, I'd like to come all over here on Friday.
I know you would, and I'll help.
In a gay way.
In a very gay way. I'm coming contact.
Okay.
All right.
Hit me up. You got my digits.
All right. Peace, bros.
Yeah.
Thanks for bro. Guys. Don't let the man get you down.
I never do. I might sound like it sometimes. I might get weepy, but I don't let it happen. So thank you guys for being here. And what did TGR say? Well, I had a couple cool people in here tonight, not just the ones that were on the screen. So thank you guys for being here. And again, while I may get weepy, just know I'll never give up. So, onward.